Guys, what's going on? Happy Sunday, guys. Happy Sunday. It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you guys, man. Guys, so the other day when I had Jeff St. James on the other day, we had the whole gender pay gap come up. You guys remember that? And yes, guys, these women are still having the pay gap conversation going on in 2026, guys. Come on, right?
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Absolute clown world. Guys, how dumb did these 304s have to be to still try and do this same stupid pay gap argument? And guys, this is a victimhood mentality, right? Yeah. They really do expect to be able to just blame men for everything. Every single, they want to have all the freedom to make choices, but then they don't want any negative outcomes. And all they do is blame men for everything. What a joke. Somehow this is still going on, guys. If they mess up at work, it's all our fault. If they have a bastard kid, it's all our fault. Guys, why? Why? What a joke. Because this is how the average woman thinks, you know? You can't fall for this, guys. And here's the thing. They get government support. They get all these programs passed and get all these NGOs, trying to do all this crap. They try and policy their way out of bad decisions. Because us guys aren't falling for it anymore. Guys, we're just not. Women actually think men just get up like, I'm going to oppress a woman today. Duh, please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
What a joke. Guys, put a 1 if you agree with me that every single bad choice, every single negative thing that women vote for, it impacts them the most. Defund the police, open borders, transformers, right? You understand? All this. They're the ones getting cooked in all of this. Because you cannot, guys, you cannot believe this. Women, if there's one thing women are, they're human beings. They're adults. They're free to succeed and they're free to fail, just like us, guys. And 90% of the time, they choose to fail. Keyshawn's here. He says these 304s are cooked. They claim to be strong and independent, but still boo-hoo, whining and cry. Yep, that's true. Red Door's here. OG is here. Anthony Williams, what's going on, my friend? Tenacity. What's going on? Yeah, guys, here. Let's check this out. Couple news stories here. Guys, have you heard of the broken rung? He has heard of this? The broken rung? Guys, put a 1 if you've never heard of this. The broken rung. Well, first of all, here, I'll get the actual definition for you, okay? All right, let's see. Okay. The broken rung is a gap in promotion rates between men and women at the first step up from entry level to manager. Let's see. It's the single biggest structural obstacle that women face on the path to senior leadership, according to leanin.org. So the term was coined by leanin.org and McKinsey Corporation and Company in the 2019 Women in the Workplace report. The single biggest barrier to women's advancement is not the glass ceiling. Now, leanin.org and McKinsey Company, they introduced the broken rung concept in their 2019 Women in the Workplace report. So before this research, the dominant metaphor for gender inequality was a glass ceiling, the invisible barrier blocking women from the C-suite. They reframed the conversation. So the critical break in the pipeline isn't at the top. It's from the very step up, because women start out unrepresented in management because they are promoted at lower rates than men, and they can never fully recover that lost ground. Now, guys, all this is, and put a 1 if you guys agree, this is called moving the goalpost. This is moving the goalpost, guys. Anytime that they claim to have some standard of discrimination, right? All of a sudden, it gets harder and harder to prove, because people know that it's BS. So now they either make it more nebulous, or they get rid of that standard altogether. Look at this. Because it's a compounding problem when women are promoted less at the entry to manager level to represent a smaller share of the talent pool on every level above it. By the time they reach C-suite, the gap that opened at the first rung has widened dramatically. Look at that, guys. The broken rung is the number one barrier to women's advancement in the workplace. So for every 100 men promoted to manager, only 81 are women. Now, guys, do we just forget the fact that 75 to only 75 to 80% of women work full or part time? Oops. Men on average work 44 hours a week, and women work 32 to 34 hours. Oops. Men are more likely to get into STEM jobs. Men work harder. Come on, man. Women of color face the widest gap at the first step, compounding the effects of both race and gender. Of course. Do you guys think B-dubs work hard enough to actually get to the C-suite? What are you talking about? The broken rung creates a cascading disadvantage. Women never fully make up the ground they lose at their first step. If the promotion rates at the entry to manager level were equalized, the number of women in senior leadership would increase substantially over time. Look at that, guys. And guys, it's not, okay. Why would it be easier to get to the top, guys? Why should it be fair to get to the top? Guys, fairness, equity, those are women's words. Men know you have to compete. You cannot look at the best outcomes and say that more people should be doing that, because if everyone has the best, guys, wouldn't the best become average, right? What a joke. Always men's fault. Always. Guys, here we go. What's this? Here we go.
All right, well, most of us are familiar with the glass ceiling, the metaphorical barrier preventing women from being promoted in their careers.
Yeah, but there's something else that could be holding women back from climbing the corporate ladder. We're talking about the broken rung. Eliza Vancourt is the author of...
Of course. Of course, this person would write this book, right, guys?
Lesbians.
Lesbian.
Lesbians.
Lesbians. Lesbian.
Lesbians. Lesbians.
Lesbian.
Lesbian.
Guys, come on. That's all we need to say, right? That's all we need to say right here, guys. Come on.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
And guys, all you guys, hey, God of the Sea, the Glaive, how you doing, guys? D Leo, what's up? Guys, type jealousy in the chat if you agree. All it is a bunch of jealous chicks who are too lazy and unwilling to do what it takes, so they're mad at the men and the women that are outperforming them, you know?
Of a woman's guide to claiming space and host of the Claim Your Space podcast. And she joins us now to talk about
Of course
the
she does.
stumbling block for women who are just trying to get ahead. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me. I always love being here.
All right, so off the top, what is the broken rung?
So the broken rung is just that first promotion in a woman's career. And what they've found is that she is simply passed over for men statistically. And that one little career, that one little moment follows her throughout her entire career like a ripple effect. So if you think of it like a ladder, that first ladder for us is broken.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about some of the numbers. For every 100 male.
This sounds like entitlement, right, guys? You know? That promotion should have been mine. And then for the rest of their life, right? That should have been me. That could have been me. That should have been me. That, guys, you get over it. You keep moving forward, right? I could have been a contender, right? Everything is men's fault. Everything. What a joke.
Employees promoted from entry level to managerial positions. 87 women get the same promotion. Now, it's even worse for women of color, 73. So what is the core issue here and why is this happening?
Well, the reality is
Evil
that
men.
people like to hang out with people that look like them. They like to work with people that look like them. They like to mentor people that look like them. And men are in positions of power.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
These dunderheads are honestly saying that if me, Keyshawn, Tenacity, Brent, God of the Sea, and Red Door were board members of a large company, and that somehow we would just hire men instead of whoever is the most qualified to do the job or the most willing to stay and work harder. It's insane, guys. Isn't that a little bit sexist, right? Guys, I don't care if the best candidate for a job is what race they are, what religion they are, it doesn't matter. Guys, as long as they'll show up and kick butt at the job and make me some money. Guys, type green in this chat if you agree. The only color that matters to us is green. We got to make that money. You know what I'm saying? What a joke. Guys, we're still having this conversation in 2026, guys. The evil men. The evil men. Please, yeah, the greens. He said the greenskins. Guys, if you don't play 40K, guys, you know, guys, the greenskins, the orcs, and 40K are like one of the best fictional factions of all time, dude. They're hilarious. The whole universe is plagued by war, and the greenskins are having a good old time. Having a good old time, you know?
So who are they promoting? They're promoting other men. And what they're doing is they're kind of justifying it with this very strange justification. What they're finding is that when women are promoted, they're promoted on what they have done. When men are promoted, they are promoted on their potential of what they can do.
Interesting.
And so how...
Guys, who believes
The
that?
lie detector determined that was a lie.
What are you talking about? Now, guys, I can say that in a way she is correct. There's a small part of what she's saying. Men are better at selling ourselves and saying, look, this is the value that I can bring to your company. These are the possibilities of what can happen if you hire me, because that's part of hiring yourself. I mean, of getting hired. You have to demonstrate how you can benefit the company, even if you haven't done so anywhere else, right? Let's just say, right, that tenacity works for my company as a coder, right? Or as a software guy. Then he goes to a God of the Seas company and says, hey, God of the Sea, I work for AJ's company, but while I did that, I developed this brand new code style, and it can save your company millions. Now, I haven't done it at AJ's company, but I can do that for you. I'm going to hire you because of that potential. I don't need to see it done if you can sell me on it. So in a way that does make sense, but that's part of selling yourself. That's part of negotiation. That's part of how the game works. What a joke.
Can we win with that?
Right. All right, well, let's try to change the tide here. How can women, I guess, avoid stumbling onto the broken rung? What's a preemptive strike? What might that look like?
Don't wait till you hear there's a promotion. Go to your boss and say, I think I deserve a promotion. And then put the idea of what you can do in his head.
So be a man then, right, guys? Act like a man. Act like a man. And guys, she looks like Morticia Adams. That's
say, I've done these things, but also this is what I could do with more power and authority. So he's already thinking what you can do, not just what you have done.
So look, guys, be like a man, to say. Be proactive. Go out there and take what you want. That's what us men do. We grab life by the horns. What a joke.
Okay, so if a woman has already been passed over for a promotion, what can she do then?
She can go to her boss and say, hey, I say I was passed over. What can I do differently? And then write down everything that person said, send it to them in an email. Then if you are passed over again, go to your boss and say, hey, I did everything you said. Here's the email. And yet Chad was still promoted. What can I do in the future to make sure this does not happen again? Yep. Just make sure you hold them accountable for their advice and then really make sure it happens.
I mean, Eliza, the reality is that some women are hesitant to be vocal in the workplace. So what is your suggestion for them to...
And whose fault is that? Oh, it's the evil men's fault. It's the evil men's fault because they should just give us promotions. They should just give us jobs. They're children, guys. They're children. I cannot believe that we're having this conversation. This foolishness is still going on right now. Guys, disparity doesn't always equal discrimination. Thomas Sowell said that. Disparity doesn't always equal discrimination. Look at the NBA. There's no Asians in the NBA. Does that mean that there's discrimination? No. How many Chinese, Japanese, Korean NFL players do you see? Is that discrimination? No. Right? How many non-Asian ping pong players do you see? Is that discrimination? No. Come on.
Take back that power.
Well, my belief has always been you don't need to feel brave to act bravely. Actually, what you want is bravery, is fear meeting action. So don't wait for that moment where you feel like, I'm really feeling confident to talk in this meeting. I'm really feeling confident to ask for this promotion.
Right.
Just do it, because eventually your feelings and your actions will catch up with each other.
And oftentimes, if there is that fear, that might prevent you from even asking. So just kind of push forward through the fear.
That's right. Fear won't hurt you. I
Right.
mean, you can just say, oh, my nerves. I feel like my heart's shaking. Oh, I have some sweat. But none of that will kill you, and no one needs to know. That's your secret. They don't need to know that.
Right. And if you don't ask, you never get the answer.
Exactly.
You think?
Fake it till you make it, really.
Right. All right. Well, Eliza, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Guys, that's what a lot of really successful people do. Honestly, guys, all of us in this chat, we've kind of talked ourselves up in a job interview, right? said we had skills that we didn't have or experience that we didn't have. And guys, have you ever got a job where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I got this job? Right? Because you sold yourself and then you learn on the job. You fake it till you make it, right? Right, guys? There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you want. Guys, straight out of college, I have this job making quite a bit of money. And I'm like, bro, how'd I end up here? I had no clue what I was doing. But I sure did nail that interview.
For having me.
And for more information about how you can fight underrepresentation or to purchase A Woman's Guide to Claiming Space, visit her website or check her out on Instagram. The information is right there on your screen.
No thanks. Right, guys? What a joke. What a joke, guys. Who still believes this? Who still believes this? Hey, guys, there's an oldie but a goodie here. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, you guys remember this? Oh, wait, here. Let's do this too. Here you go, guys. Fair use, by the way, YouTube. Watch this. Watch this.
Have shown diversity and inclusiveness bring more profits to business.
Hey guys, if you honestly believe this whole diversity is our strength, foolishness in corporate America, guys,
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
If
there is no evidence that diversity is a strength. Not a single paper has been proven that.
If Matt and I have a company and we have a bunch of dudes and we're crushing it, there's nothing that says, hey guys, you know what will make us make more money? A chick. How does that work? It doesn't work in anything at all. Guys, the most qualified people should be the people there. Your gender, your race. This is so regressive because this is the same. The wokey wokes, they used to say, oh, you can be a tomboy girl and be a girl. Girls can play with trucks, right? Girls can play with toy guns and they're still girls. And boys can play with dolls and they're still boys because this whole right. But now the wokey woke say that if a boy plays with dolls, right, all of a sudden he's, and if a girl plays with trucks, she's. But didn't they used to say that sex and race don't matter, right? Qualifications are qualifications, right?
Yeah.
But now we've regressed where it's like, oh, you have to look at a person's sex or race so that they can be heard and improve your organization. Isn't that going back to like the 60s and the 50s? It's regressive thinking. What does it matter? Guys, and think of this. It doesn't even play out in the wokey woke's own areas. Guys, when did we have the best female written characters? When they were all written by men. Look at all the great female characters in movies and cinema, comic books, TV shows were written by men. All these women who were pro-choice, right? Hey, Matt, isn't it funny that the most diverse Supreme Court that the United States has ever had struck down RVW? Oops, right? But it seems like when there was all white guys on the Supreme Court, women had RVW. Isn't that funny how that works? So diversity didn't work out then, did it?
Nope.
It just doesn't make any sense, guys. It makes no sense. And even if, guys, why would you invest in an inferior product? And this brings up soccer. Matt, have you seen the whole soccer player, the female soccer player? how women get more ACL injuries than men?
No, I don't watch sports on this one.
Women's soccer ACL injuries. Okay,
Yeah,
so guys,
not a sports
because of how women's legs are, female soccer players are 2 to 8 times more likely to suffer an ACL tear than male players. Look at that.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that.
So Matt, if you were going to start a football team, a foosball team, are you going to have a men's team or women's team? You need to invest in a men's team or women's team, regardless of the fact that the women make less money. If the men,
you can mix them all up because we're equal now.
What I'm saying though is if they were both making you the same amount of money, right? Why would you invest in something that's gonna break down more? That you're gonna have to pay more money to fix.
Sounds like Kia.
Yeah, that's a bad ROI. You know what I'm saying? If the women are 2 to 8 times more likely to suffer an injury, that'd be like saying, are you gonna get a friggin' old Toyota Tacoma that'll last you 500,000 miles, or some piece of junk? I don't even know an equivalent. You know what I'm saying? But like, why? You're losing money by investing in women. And in general, guys, that's how women are. Guys, women call in sick more. They have maternity leave. They don't work as much. They want more vacation. So if Matt and I are hiring lawyers, what are we going to hire women for? We can hire men. Because here's the thing that you guys don't get. And put a 1 if you agree. Rich says you can't tear your ACL if you're in the kitchen. Hey-o! Guys, when women have kids, they work less. When men have kids, we work more. We work more. If you have 2 lawyers, Stephanie and Steven, Stephanie has a kid, she's going to be out. Steven's going to start busting his butt more because he has to put food on his family's table. What a joke. Oh, Glimmerman, he said female cops always need backup. Oh, yeah. I have a clip for that, guys. I have a clip where we can check that out quick with these female cops. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, guys. There was a hold on. So yeah, guys. So women's soccer players are 2 to 8 times more likely to have an ACL tear than male players. Studies indicate 1 in 19 female players will experience an injury. This heightened risk is driven by anatomical factors, hormonal fluctuations, and biomechanical movement patterns. So when jumping or pivoting, women are more likely to land with a collapsing knee pattern, meaning knees inward. Now, guys, they say that this is sexist. They're saying that there needs to be that they need to close the injury gap.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Led astray. Run amok.
How is this our fault? This is what this whole live stream is about. An injury gap.
Boy.
An injury gap. And they're going to say, oh, well, men need to help close the injury gap. How?
You kick them off?
Got my voice crack, and I'm so pissed off over here. Every time I talk about this, every time, guys, how is this our fault? Female soccer athletes, they account for over 75% of all ACL injuries across all NCAA soccer divisions. And once again, guys, they always talk about closing the gap. Men need to, guys, put a 1 if you agree. Men don't need to do a damn thing, right, Matt?
Yeah, damn right.
They made it clear we don't have to do a damn thing. We don't have to do anything. What a joke. Everything is our fault. They always say everything is our fault, guys. It's not. Guys, and here's the thing. There's gonna come a day where they can't obfuscate this stuff anymore, because enough of us guys are just gonna be nowhere to be found, nowhere to be seen. And at that point, that's what it's gonna take for them to finally have to at least attempt to look inward. You know what I'm saying? But guys, the fact that we're still having this gender pay gap thing where men are just these evil overlords taking money from women and blah, 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 blah. The fact that we're having this conversation in 2026 is absolutely insane. It's been debunked for like 50, 60 years. They've known the wage gap is BS. Look at this.
As the off-grid solar industry continues to grow, small kids are changing the lives of people in some of the remotest parts of the world. And has insect-based protein gained a firm foothold in the global food market?
That is
No.
something you do not want.
Heavens
that
no.
will increase inflammation in your body beyond
Heavens
anything
no.
you could ever imagine.
There you go.
Underrepresented in leadership positions and are still earning less than them.
This is the thing. Underrepresented according to what? According to what? That's just the thing. It doesn't make any
Male
sense.
counterparts. A recent report from LinkedIn Economic Graph showed only 32% of leadership positions is occupied by female workers, and the figures hardly changed since 2016. Furthermore, women's representation declines steadily as they move up through the ranks. This trend is evident.
Now, guys, here's the thing. My girl's dad was the CEO of a bank, right? And her dad and my dad, because my dad, he was a doctor. The guys that get to this level, like director and up, they're all insane. Guys who are doctors, guys who are high-priced lawyers, guys, you have to have something wrong with you. To guys who start very successful businesses, who will start a roofing business making $40 million a year. Those guys are crazy. And you can take it in a good way or a bad way, right? They're obsessed with work. If you were to give my girl's dad an axe in the middle of the forest, he'd start chopping trees down. That's how it works. My dad too. He always has to work. Always. You look at Elon Musk. You look at Bezos. You look at these high-priced people. My brother knows a guy who does contract work to do maintenance on all the post office buildings, and he makes a lot of money. But he built his company up by working 75 hours a week for the last 20 years. There are guys out there that want to bust their butts. They work and they work and they work and they work. And that's an infinitesimally small group of the population of men. Most of us men don't want to, guys, I don't want to be over here. I work a lot because of my YouTube and then do my other, but guys, these guys that are director, VP and up, no way, dude. No way. Can't do it, guys. Can't do it. I like having an actual life outside of work. You know what I'm saying? But there are some guys where they're obsessed with work. They're obsessed. These are the same guys who end up being really, really, really good MMA fighters, really good boxers. You know what I'm saying? Your Tom Brady's and all those. These guys that are obsessed with work. They're obsessive about things. And guys, that's something that you can't teach. You can't. You cannot. And the majority of the people who have those qualities are males. Who have the drive, the intelligence, the know-how. Oh, yeah, Glimmerman said it the best. Yeah. High-priced salespeople. You know, these people who go out and eat what they catch. You know what I'm saying? Who sell cars, make a lot of money, trade stocks, do all stuff. These guys who are just always just obsessed with winning, you know? This is like, Matt, people, okay, I don't know if you have any friends who are multimillionaires, but I have like 4 friends who are millionaires, right? And we have this whole eat the rich thing, which is stupid, guys. honestly. Matt, do you have like some type of like notification going on? Can you mute that?
You can actually hear that?
Yes. That's, yeah. Can you mute that, please? So we have this thing where we act like successful people are the devil, and they're not. Guys, I have 4 friends who are multimillionaires, and I've watched them amass their millions in my lifetime. Okay? And guys, they just work harder than everyone else. They work harder than me. I can admit it. My friends that are millionaires, they worked harder than me, and they made better decisions. They just did. It's not about fairness. It's not about equality. They worked harder than I did and sacrificed more than me. So people look at the result and not the journey now. So people want the results of what my friends have, but they don't want to work as hard. Absolutely insane. Instead of hating on people who have millions of dollars, ask them how they got those millions. And guys, 90% of those people will say, hey, look, this is what I did. They'll tell you exactly what they did. The risks that they took, the amount of work that they had to do. I had one friend, a friend of mine, he's a millionaire now. Guys, he's a Southeast Asian. He was in an Asian gang, got caught stealing cars, went to jail. They said you can either go to jail or join the army. He joined the army, was deployed in Afghanistan and Iraq twice. Risked his life, got out, used his GI Bill. He got his computer science degree. Got a great job, moved a bunch of times, worked 70 hours a week, invested. Who else are there any women who would go into combat and risk their lives and then get their degree, work 80 hours a week to become a regional software developing manager person for Microsoft, right? Come on, man. They won't do it. Guys, someone says capitalism works until it doesn't. So without customers, it all implodes. So wage disparity exists. If not controlled, it F's all. That's not true. That's not true. Guys, first of all, don't swear in the chat. And guys, here's the thing. Capitalism's not perfect, but it's the best system we have. And also, guys, if you make something that people want or need, you can be successful. If you work hard enough and you make the right decisions, guys, you will be successful. Guys, I'm Black in America. My family grew up poor. We grew up poor, guys, and we went from being poor to upper middle class, guys. We went from the hood to living like the Bankses on friggin' Fresh Prince. Guys, my family is a walking, talking, he is not here. D-Spirit, here. Call in, bud. Here you go. Here's the link. So what about McDonald's car dealers in tech? So what? I have good health insurance. My car is paid off and I don't eat at McDonald's. So what? So what? Bro, your argument doesn't stand. You don't have to play that game. Guys, buy a used car. Find a good, a reliable car. Pay for it cash. You get a 2004 Mercury Grand Marquis for $8,000. Boom, you beat the used car market, right? Make yourself essential. Find a good company where you drive trucks for, and get your health insurance. Boom, health insurance, battle won. Hey, D-Spirit, call in, buddy. If you honestly think that you can't get around the capitalistic system, guys, this is good. I love capitalism.
In all honesty, I'm having some trouble with it too. I'm not saying that I would take it away, but I'm just saying I haven't been able to successfully make it work for me yet.
What do you mean?
Okay, I don't know if you know this. Maybe this is a little more region in my area. Remember the 2008 stock market crash? Yeah, it wiped out everything in my region here. So I went through a lot of education to kind of get myself back on track, got an engineering degree and so forth. And then now I'm dealing with a new kind of problem, ageism. And I'm kind of having some trouble with employment. So I can see where some people have some issues with it. Yes, I know if you work really hard, you can get it. If you know the right risks, you can get there. I'm just saying personally, I haven't had much luck with it.
What I'm saying is A, move, B, start your own company, C, look at like international jobs, remote jobs, all these other things, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's things that you can do. You just got to think outside the box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, bro, this is like, all right. I have been told my entire life that AJ, you're black. Oh yeah, you're cooked in this racist society. Because I don't believe that for a second. Because even if that is somewhat true, I'm too busy to even recognize this. If I have not got a job because I'm black, I don't even know, because I just keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Matt, you are going to win. You are a winner. Period. That's the reason why you're here, because you think critically and you're willing to take the risks and work hard. In our brief interactions, I can tell that you don't take any prisoners. You know what I'm saying? It's not if, it's when. That's how it works. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You are not the type to sit on your laurels and cry and won't moan and whine. You know, now, D Spirit, there does need to be some. No. This is not true.
Socialism. My God.
But there does need to be some government regulation, because the free market capitalism, right, will correct itself. Imagine there's a big scale. When the market goes to one side, people start tipping off. That means people start dying. It's up to the government to actually balance those scales as much as possible so that people don't fall off, because it could take a long time for that market to correct itself. I do believe that there needs to be some government involvement, meaning like for instance, guys, Matt, Larry, Colin, myself, we look at the labels of the things we eat, right? But the average person doesn't. There needs to be a USDA, and there needs to be an FDA that's actually doing stuff to figure out what big pharma is doing. You know what I'm saying? There just does. We cannot have free and unfettered large corporations saying, here, buy this and eat this. So, and D-Spirit, no, dude, I disagree with socialism in every form.
Yeah, I want a piece of this one too, AJ.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. I don't think that you understand social security and the government system that we have is not socialist. Having a social security check and getting taxes is not socialist at all. It's not. That maybe we need to get our terms correct, but that's not socialist at all. It's not. Matt, you were saying?
You don't want socialism because you'll have the kinds of problems that I'm having. Okay.
Thank you, Matt.
Okay, so here I'm gonna tell you the dangers, because only somebody here who says that they want socialism and has never really lived under it and never understood how it shows up on your doorstep, taking everything from you. Okay. So part of the reason why Canada right now has got MAID, medical assisted dying. I don't know if you've heard of that. We have a publicly funded healthcare system, and it's failing. Okay.
Yes.
And part of the reason why they're pushing for MAID is because they can no longer keep the healthcare system going. So they are pushing to wipe out as many people as they can. Okay.
Yeah.
Socialism will show up at your door. It will take away all your guns. It will take away all your property. It will take all your money from you. It will close your bank accounts. It will crawl so far up your ass, and it will take you apart piece by piece by piece. And I am living proof of that. That is part of the reason why I'm trying to get out of the shithole that I am in. And I just want you. I want this guy in Canada so he can walk a day in my shoes and see just what the hell.
No,
he's
guys,
talking
guys, Matt's not discussing the extremes. He's living in this right now.
Yeah,
guys, the Canadian healthcare system is cooked. It's cooked. It's cooked, guys. They have socialized healthcare. The average wait to see a doctor is almost a year. The average wait to see a friggin' specialist is 3 years. There's people passing away trying to see neurologists and oncologists. There are people that fly to Guatemala and El Salvador to actually see. And guys, they can just take people's firearms in Canada.
Yes,
people have no rights in Canada, and what little rights there are, there's no freedoms at all. They're losing rights every day, guys. Sorry, got Matt. Okay,
here's another one too: is socialized education.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get into this. This is going to get an interesting one here. I just had an interesting conversation with an American about about SATs and GATs for universities in the United States, but why Canada doesn't have it? It's because they take public money. But when you look at there's a good and there's a bad side to this. One, everybody gets a chance to go into the university, even if you're not really meant to cut out for it. But when you look around a university that has accepted socialized money, and for instance, the National Research Council of Canada has a lot of test equipment and things around the engineering labs that I go to in the University of Manitoba. And they have the ability to call the shots. Okay. They can say, just like when we did with the big C-19 injection scam, that you're not going to show up at your doorstep. We can just cut you off. We can just take it off. We can just shut down your educational credentials. We can shut down your research because we're the one dumping money into it. They have the ability to pull the rug out from right underneath you if they decide to stop you. And because you've taken their money to get all the fancy things that they have so that everybody can have equal education and not have to worry about being weaned off or kicked out the door because they can't pass an SAT system. They have the ability to shut you down, and to shut you down they will. And that's part of the reason why we have a push for so much DEI. And we have things like every time we start a class, we have this proclamation for Native Canadians. Like, oh, we're sorry that we conquered your land and all that stuff, so that they can slowly train you into thinking that land theft is now becoming socially acceptable because it was theirs first. And nobody sees that. And that's what socialism does. It slowly takes from you.
I think it's funny, though, that, people go, oh, well, if it's socialist, we're all equal. It's like, well, no, because if everyone gets their fair share, right, someone has to enforce what that fairness is. And whoever does that enforcement has the power.
Right.
That's the ultimate hierarchy. That's the ultimate monopoly. The state is the ultimate monopoly. It's funny how people who are all about socialism and communism, they hate big corporations and they don't want monopolies, but they push for the biggest monopoly there is. Think about it, guys. Let's just say that Larry, Colin, and I and Matt are on an island, right? And Matt has the only firearm. Then guess what? He decides who gets how much food. And if we violate what he thinks is fair, he just takes us out. How do you have no hierarchy when someone has to be in charge of resource distribution? And whoever that group is, what's his name? King Louis say? De toi, it's moi, right? I am the state. Just like Stalin and Mao and all these people. They are the state. They run everything. They decide what's equal. They decide what's fair. And do you guys think that they're going to be transparent and actually show that they're taking their fair share too? Of course not.
That's a really good point.
You know, there's one other thing that you also have to consider too. Sorry about that. There's one thing you have to consider too, is like why the Americans say that they want socialism or hate capitalism is because they don't actually understand what real capitalism is.
Yeah.
What's going on right now? That's keeping everybody from getting jobs and getting the house that they worked hard for. And I understand, I empathize. There's people that go to university, they get themselves maybe like an engineering or doctorate degree and science and physics and stuff. And they worked hard, and that's not an easy achievement to get. And then on top of it too, they still can't get a job flipping burgers. I get it. Okay. But the problem that most people don't understand is the kind of capitalism that you're seeing in America isn't real capitalism, something called crony capitalism.
Yeah.
And when you have corporations that pay, Congress to buy a politician and swing in the direction of that particular corporation for products that they're trying to sell, that's not capitalism. That's a hijacking of your system. So, most people don't understand that.
That's exactly along the points of what I was going to say. I think everybody here is old enough to remember the 2006, 2008 housing collapse, right?
Yeah.
And let the all-knowing free hand of the market went out the window when George Bush wanted to distribute socialism to his crony friends.
Thank you. Yep.
He gave away all of the taxpayer money to the banks that made the bad bet, loaning to people who had no business being loaned to. And when all those properties got foreclosed on, did George Bush bail out the common man using the socialism system?
Nope.
No. He bailed out his rich crony friends. He bailed out the banks. Obama came in and did the exact same thing and put together, I want everybody here to understand, put together the socialism that they distributed to the top tier, of the housing market was worth more money than if they just paid off all the delinquent mortgages.
Yeah, but here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. How many times have they bailed out Detroit, right? The car companies, multiple times. How many times they bail out the
airlines?
The airlines. Thank you. Let them fail. Let them fail. That's what people don't get. That's what they don't understand, right? It just doesn't make any sense.
So I was in the real estate game when that whole thing happened, right? And I'll tell you right now, the huge housing market issues that we're having, the unaffordability issues that we're having, if we had just let those banks fail and liquidate all of the properties to just even come to zero, or take a loss for all of their investors, we would not be in this horrific crunch that we are. And that's the problem with, once you accept socialism, once you accept it, the poor people are not going to get the socialism. It's going to be socialism for the top tier only.
Yep, that's true. That's true. You guys, even the very idea of equal outcomes is stupid. Because here's the thing, Larry, how tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
And how much do you weigh?
About 175.
Okay, so guys, Larry's that size. I'm 6'3", 250. Imagine if we're in a socialist state and they give everyone the same 3 meals a day. How does that work for me? You know what I'm saying? If they base it on what the average per person weighs, let's just say 1,200 calories. I need more than that because I'm bigger. I lose. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I want more food, I should be able to work harder and buy my own food and eat more, right? But in socialism, everyone has the same outcome. Everyone has the same distribution of resources.
Right. And don't forget, if Larry just sits at home all day collecting a government handout and he only needs 1,200 calories a day, whereas AJ, the government says that you're a big, strong bucking man. You got to go work at the whatever factory, and
In
you're
the quarry.
burning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You're burning 3,000 calories a day, but the government then turns around and says, well, you still only get 1,200 calories a day.
Yeah. It's ridiculous because everything that we hyperbolically say about socialism, guys, Canada's going through right now. The UK is going through right now. Dead ass. You guys want to see why? Like, if AOC and all these idiots get in charge, we will be Canada. Guys, look at what Seattle's going through right now. Look at what Montgomery up in New York is making New York go through. Cooked. But guys, back to the topic. Colin, hey, what's up, dude?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Good. But guys, once again, these women blame us men for everything, right? They blame us men for everything. If they have bastard kids, they blame us men. If they don't want to work hard and end up and all the men get promoted, they blame us men. There's guys. Did you see the video that I put out earlier today about how women can't take the heat in the heat wave? There's a heat gap now because women's bodies can't process heat as well.
Yeah.
So now somehow that's our fault too. What a joke. I thought that they were as good as us men, that anything that we can do, they could do better, right?
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore.
Clown world. Guys, I'm telling you, the best part about this whole feminist experiment is watching it fall apart in real time. Guys, like I said, I am a petty son of a bitch, dude. I really am. guys, that's my number one character flaw. I'm so petty, guys. I really, really am. And there's nothing better than seeing these dunderheads fail. There's nothing better than seeing these dunderheads working themselves to death. They're homeless or they wait too long to have kids and the IVF fails. Oh, so good, guys. So good to see them cry on the internet. It's so good, dude. Isn't it the best? It's so good, guys. Oh my gosh, it makes me feel so good, guys. It gives you little butterflies in my stomach.
Hey, AJ, are you sure we're not brothers? Like,
you probably are.
Brother from another mother.
A more diverse workforce brings more profits to businesses.
A more diverse workforce brings more profits to business.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
To discuss more, I'm joined by Caroline Kotze, founder and chief equity officer at Women in Governance, an organization set up to help women access...
Chief equity officer at Women in Governance. You want to talk about one of the most useless positions of all time. And guys, how much you want to bet USAID is propping up whatever, or was, until Orange Man came in there, right? Orange Man saw where that money was going. He said, guys,
You're fired!
What? Decision-making roles. Great to have you on our show, Caroline.
Thank you for having me, Yuka.
Well, you set up your organization back in 2010. How much progress has been made since then, and why has it been so slow?
So we have seen great progress, obviously, even over the past 50 years, I would say. But it has been excruciatingly slow. And in addition, the pandemic has set us backwards, unfortunately. Some of the reasons why things are progressing slowly are pertaining to systemic barriers that women see in the workplace. And quite frankly,
guys, anytime that they say the word systemic, it means bullshit. Systemic means nothing. That's the most nondescript descriptor there is. Systemic means nothing at all. It's ridiculous.
Sexism and unconscious bias rank pretty high in the issues that we're seeing, but also corporate culture. We need a more inclusive culture. We need organizations to work on policies that will propel women and not hold them back. And then the women themselves need to become a lot more assertive, need to be ready for the role. And even if they don't feel ready, right? There's always this imposter syndrome that invades women when they get a promotion. So the women need to jump on the opportunities. They need to raise their hand for opportunities. And the organizations need to ensure that they get rid of all the old boys club mentality and modify.
Look at that, guys. So the organization needs to change itself for the women and not the women adapting to the organization. Narcissistic hubris, solipsistic mindset. The whole world needs to bend to my will. Isn't it crazy how women always think like that? Guys can read the room. Guys can get our lay of the land. You know what I'm saying? And make sure that we fit in. But women want to go into a place that is already built and say, you guys need to change and adapt to what I want, or I'm a victim.
By their cultures, and they're put in place the right initiatives and policies.
Now, overall representation of women in leadership roles is still low, but some sectors like tech and finance have stubbornly low female representation in management, even among the industries. And even in sectors where there's a high representation of female workers, like in education and healthcare, their percentage in leadership roles is still very low. What are the obstacles?
So definitely in the, as you mentioned, finance and high tech, we're still seeing slow progress, and in part because women are not necessarily choosing the right field of education. So we need to work at a very early stage with the young girls so that they can understand that it is true when we say you can be anything that you'd like to be. And that sector also needs to put an effort to be more welcoming to the women. So if you want to go work for an organization like a big Google or Facebook, and when you go in and you look, it looks and feels like you're entering a little boy or a little teenager's bedroom, and it's all about, the Star Wars, and it doesn't feel like it's the kind of environment where women can thrive. That's on the companies themselves. So the certification that we've created at Women in Governance, the parity certification, one of the goals is really to encourage these organizations to have a broader view of what they can do to attract and retain women. And I do emphasize the retention is key, because women will give it a try. And then if they...
I got a perfect job for women, especially the ones that have colored hair and nose rings. You ready for this one? You put them in the army for IED disposal or a diffusal in Fallujah, Iraq.
Hey, tell them that's the best way to help these poor kids in friggin' in the Sandy area. And hey, they just might try.
Oh yeah, they need women. You need to show these women need to show them who the real boss is. Yeah. You get out there and you defuse bombs.
I want to tell this broad that I identify as a lady and take advantage of her program.
I know. Hey guys, hold on. There's this Asian guy at the gym that I used to go to, and he's an IT guy. And guess his whole last year of college was funded by women's IT scholarships, because if they don't give the money away, they lose it. So so he put in for all the scholarships, and he got them because girls don't take IT classes. So he had a whole bunch of like women in IT scholarships. And he's a guy. He's like, hey, I'll take it, But guys, victimhood, guys. Here's this presentation on victimhood, right? And this woman right here, she has the weaponization of the victimhood. Now, this is how the left has galvanized these women, and social media has made this even worse. All right, in places like Canada, where there's no free speech, has made it 10 times worse. Guys, watch.
And American realities. After a kind of an attempt to understand.
And fair use, you YouTube, fair use.
Finally, I ask how we can question victimhood, challenge our uses of the
Now,
vocabulary.
do you see? Claims to suffering that accrue moral status to the claimant and attach responsibility for the infliction or relief of suffering to other actors. Meaning, if you can claim to be the victim, you have moral superiority. You have the moral high ground. Okay? That's why you see all these young white kids. They don't want to be just regular heterosexual white kids. They want to adopt some crazy LDHD TV or say that they're 1/52nd Native American or that they're neurodivergent so that they can just not be the plain old white, because if they can have some type of victimhood, then they can have moral superiority. How many times have I said, these liberal white chicks, they don't care about blacks and Hispanics. They just want to have a reason to lecture other white people. They want to soar on their wings of righteousness and tell Matt and Colin and all you white guys how terrible you are. They want some kind of status or recognition without having to work for it. That's all this is. What a joke.
Vocabulary of victimhood, as it is currently weaponized by the far right, and how we can challenge and reclaim that vocabulary at the service of those who are most exposed to violence. Those.
Now, guys, do you see this came out a year ago. So she's trying to say that the far right does this. Whereas we would argue that the far left does this way more than the right. Guys, you know how I know that that's true is that you have the LDHD TVs for Palestine. You have feminists for Palestine. You know what I'm saying? Because all they do is say, well, these people must be victims, so we're going to automatically assign them the moral high ground, which means all they see is, oh, small hat kind of country bad, Gaza good. Therefore, we're gonna assign them good and bad, and they don't actually see that they couldn't even live in that other area because of the religion. You know what I'm saying? So
who are most vulnerable in society. So there comes another slide with my definition of victimhood in the book, Wronged, where I simply say that victimhood refers to claims to suffering that accrue moral status to the claimant and attach responsibility for the infliction or relief of suffering to other actors. So victimhood, basically, beyond the victim, always includes the benefactor, relief of suffering, and the perpetrator, right? The infliction of suffering. And we have just seen how rights, and particularly the right to life, has been used as a claim to suffering that evokes a victim, the fetus as potential life in need of protection, a perpetrator, women who have abortions and states that allow them, and a benefactor, pro-life activists, Republican politicians, perhaps above all the Supreme Court that voted for the right to life of a fetus. But it is not just rights that is used as a vocabulary of victimhood. It is also trauma. Another Republican argument is indeed that women who have abortions can suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So unlike rights, which is a claim to social suffering or injury.
Now, guys, we'll watch like 2 more minutes of this. But guys, the left does this more than anyone else. Who uses trauma and all this other stuff? Women do. BLM and all this foolishness, right? Come on.
A lack of rights or a lack of legal protection from harm and political, as many have argued, I mean, beyond paradigmatic languages of the environment.
So victimism is not just a single word language. It's a vocabulary that consists of 2 languages of pain, trauma and injury. Who does that? Guys, the left, right?
The French and the Scottish environment, even though, in fact, they took their current form as trauma and rights in the late 19th and early 20th century Western thought, in Freud, obviously psychoanalysis, trauma, and in liberal thought and Marxian and post-Marxian political thought. The language of human rights has a more complex genealogy, if you like. Now, even though I can hardly go through the kind of complex history of these legacies here, in the course of the 20th century, and that is what really matters, as many have argued, beyond me, these 2 languages came to dominate public discourse, public life, and have now become indispensable in our everyday communication and institutional communication, workplace, education, politics.
Why, guys? Because of DEI programs HR, unconscious bias training, all this other crap that they make us sit through. Guys, we didn't have this foolishness in the 90s and the 2000s. You guys remember all the crazy comedies and movies and how we used to joke with each other and talk mess and talk trash and everyone got along, right, guys? And then during, knucklehead Obama's presidency, they actually say like 60 to 80% more divisive language was used during his presidency by both sides. And that's what actually made race and sex and stuff actually become more divisive. So
the media, intimate relations, culture that places so much emphasis.
The language of pain are a key side of social contestation. They're used in public debates as weapons that can grant those who claim the recognition and domination they seek in politics and culture. Ding, 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 ding. This is why women love this, guys. Because it lets them dominate people. Guys, women cannot dominate us physically. So they use shame, insult, guilt. You know what I'm saying? Character assassination. And guys, the more that they can use victimhood, the more power that they have. Because they can't beat Matt in a fight, but they can get him fired by calling him a racist, right? They can't beat Colin in a fight, but they can get him fired or put in jail on a false SA accusation, right? Guys, this is what's going on. Huh?
That kind of stuff has actually happened to me.
Insane, man.
Yeah, Canada's fucked. Sorry, I mean messed up.
Yeah. So, guys, this woman here is trying to look at this. Victimhood as speech act versus vulnerability as social. Listen, victimhood as a communicative act does not necessarily speak to people's conditions of vulnerability. It reflects primarily the positions of power people claim victimhood from. So do you guys see how they're trying to empower themselves through victimhood? And guys, what sex does that the most?
Of course, it's the women.
Thank you. Empowered victimhood. That's what women want. It's these social positions of power that tend to suggest who deserves to be protected as a victim and who should be punished as a perpetrator. That sounds like all these BLMs, these LDHD TVs and all that, guys. All this is a political play. You guys honestly don't think that these idiots care. You honestly don't think that these idiots care to help or want to make the world better. Anytime that there's a gap in anything, guys, they're blaming us men. They're calling us men the perpetrators of horrible trauma and all this stuff, and they're the poor victims. It's a joke, guys. Here, let's do this quick. Here you go. Hold on.
Now to find out more. Good morning, Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Look at that. Look at this broad right here.
Lesbian. Lesbian.
Lesbians.
Lesbians. Lesbian.
Lesbians.
There's my future green card there.
If this chick doesn't have a ticket to the all-you-can-eat tuna buffet, then I don't know who does.
This is fascinating research. Tell us about this study.
Well, my study was quite anecdotal. I was doing career coaching a couple of years ago with men and women, broad range of backgrounds. And when you're doing that work, you say to people, what's the next job look like? And I suddenly got struck by the number of women that could articulate the companies they wanted to work for, the type of work. And then consistently they'd say, oh, by the way, I don't want to work for another woman.
Guys, the majority of women put a 1 if you agree. And guys, hit the like button, please, guys. Please, we have 47 likes, guys. Hit the like button. Their biggest op is another woman. Guys, a woman's biggest enemy is always another woman, guys. put a 1 if you agree.
So I started to track these numbers, and we got to around 80%. I asked colleagues, and they were getting similar numbers. And I knew that was, a small, not very scientific sample. But if you go to the literature, there's huge studies all replicating these findings. Gallup in the US has actually tracked this for 60 years, and we're still not shifting the data too much, which is really a shame.
It checks out with in workplaces I've been in, there have been huge schisms between female employees and female bosses where it was pretty much an all-out.
This guy is such a beta. He's just such a simp.
At Cold War, like it was, and not talk. Yep, not talking.
Do you know why, Lucy?
Undermining.
Are there reasons given? Are they competitive with?
There's issues of competitiveness, I think, certainly, and our stereotypes are quite primal. So I think it's really incumbent on women to continually check those. If we don't acknowledge behaviour, we can't change it. So new women coming into the workforce have to understand that just because they have a female boss, she's not their best friend. She's a boss. She's got a job to do and be a boss.
But guys, this is the issue. Guys, anywhere that I go, I don't say, well, I have to bring up all black people, represent all black people. Guys, it's not fair to anyone to go into a workplace and feel like they have to help everyone who looks like them, or they have to do. No, guys, you have a hard enough time doing your job above and beyond to the point to where you can get promoted, and all of a sudden they want you to think, oh, women need to. Guys, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, male, you don't owe anyone anything except for those who you choose to have in your circle. This is victimhood. This is playing the blame game. You know what I'm saying?
And one of the things that raised me, you remember the surgeon Gabrielle McMullen, who blew the whistle on sexism in the medical industry, and she talks about how often when you have an industry where there is actually so male dominated, that if a woman cracks through and actually makes it to the top level, it's so rare, and they feel so sort of lucky to have gotten there, that they will actively undermine other women coming through, because I think, well, I've made it, and I've got the spot for the woman, and that's it. I'm going to cut everyone off the legs.
In my experience, I've had 1 or 2 female bosses, and I've always found them to be an ally and quite supportive. So that's been my experience.
Here's the thing: they don't have to be. They're your boss. Can you imagine Colin going onto a job site and going, "All right, man, you're supposed. Can you be my ally?" I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for an ally on this job. Like, well, just do your job and shut up. Go home. What are you doing, guys?
I haven't really found, maybe I'm going against your findings, Lucy, but I also think that a woman leader needs to be sort of wise and supportive as well. And so perhaps, I don't know, as you say, once they get to that position, they become really protective of it.
And that's one thing that I can say about like South American chicks and chicks in Asia. Guys, they don't cut their hair short to these lesbian haircuts.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
So much.
I hate is short hair. I hate it, guys. It's disgusting. I hate short hair. I hate it. Why does a woman have this hair? Why these hairdos? Why these 3 hairdos? Guys, women in like Vietnam, Laos, Thailand, Colombia, they would never do this ever. Eastern European chicks, they would never do this ever. Long hair is a sign of femininity. It's a sign of beauty. It shows you actually care about your appearance, and you're going to cut your hair short? What are you doing?
The data does bear that out. And I think, I'm always mindful of Madeleine Albright's great comment. There's a special place in hell for women that don't look after other women.
I love
that. Guys, that's such a stupid statement. Well, then, guys, 95% of all women would be in hell then. So, guys, put a 1 if you agree. Women can't stand each other. They can't stand each other.
Because I think as a woman, that comes with a responsibility to look after other, women around you.
Why? With all that, here's the thing, guys. women are dumb, but they're not. I mean, sorry, these 304s are dumb, but they're not stupid. Meaning they say dumb things, but they're actually not stupid enough to believe it. Okay? Meaning they say dumb things, but they're not stupid enough to actually believe it. All right? Guys, that would be like me saying that I have a duty to watch out for all the black people that I work with. I work with some pretty dunder-headed black people because I am black, okay? Guys, no. You only need to watch out for yourself. Think about how much pressure, how much responsibility that is to actually say that you, Matt, you got a lot of background noise, bro. Mute
Oh, sorry about that.
I'll mute you for now. Just unmute when you talk. But guys, imagine having to actually care about everyone else at the job who looks like you.
So instead of pulling that ladder up behind, as some women bosses do, I think it's really incumbent on all of us to look at our journey, acknowledge the struggles, and some women really sacrifice to get to their positions. Acknowledge that sacrifice, celebrate their success, but at the same time realise it's not actually character building to make the struggle the same for everybody. Make it easier.
Is there a difference in the different type of professions? Like, I mean, we're talking about, like, if there are fewer women in the workplace, perhaps the women who are there are more aggressive and they're also more protective of their position because there's not as many of them. Whereas maybe where Ange worked at the ABC, for example, or in female-dominated professions, that would not be a problem because it's simply the norm. So don't have that.
Guys, the only guy who can cross his legs like this and be manly is Captain Picard from Star Trek: The Next Generation. If you're not Captain Picard, guys, don't cross your legs like this guy. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you know? But guys, here, let's do this. Right? Look at this.
The worst bosses that I ever had in my life, the worst, the meanest, the cruelest, the most spiteful, the most underhanded, the horrible, were all women. They were all women. Now, does that mean that every single male boss is amazing? No. But this idea that, like, I mean, God, a female president, or is somehow just because she's a woman going to be nurturing and wonderful and, you know, oh, world peace is just going to emerge because a woman. No, actually, women can be vicious, particularly to each other.
Yep, that's true.
I really want to steal that woman away from her husband.
Which one?
Jedediah.
No, but here's the thing. She used to be this feminist chick and then did a 180.
I know. Yeah, she did.
Yeah. Here we go.
In at least three of my very early professional experiences, I have had a female boss who everyone told me, good luck working for her. She's really intense. Or you work for so-and-so, like, I don't know how you do it. Like, she can be a lot.
You're taking too long. Guys, yeah, all these chicks say that they do not like working for chicks. They don't. Guys, women treat each other. Look at this. Flavor Flav!
Oh, there's my green card. There's my green card, AJ.
I'm gonna just say it. Black women as supervisors, why y'all so damn nasty? It don't make no sense. Y'all be nasty as fuck. Y'all see another sister just got hired. Y'all just want to automatically just create this little level of competition, this little level of just really giving her a hard time for what? Y'all got women out here really stressed the fuck out before they even hit home. They got to pick up their kids. They got to make groceries. Got to, cater to their husband or whatever. And you around here just giving her attitude, just being nasty for what? Now I ain't talking to the nice ones. I ain't talking about the ones that really, that's okay. But y'all black women supervisors, y'all that shit to get to y'all head. For real. Y'all need to stop it. And if you are nasty and if you're a black woman, you need to tame it down. Tame it down. You won't like if somebody did that to your motherfucking door, would you? Yeah. Mean ass. You need to get.
Listen to the mouth on this broad. There you go.
Were jealous female bosses. Some of the hardest bosses I ever worked for were jealous female bosses. And nobody wants to say that out loud. And before everybody freaks out in the comments, no, I'm not saying that all female bosses are like this. I worked for amazing female leaders too. but I definitely worked under women where it felt like low-key hated confident employees. Like if you were good at your job, if people liked you, if you had ideas, if you had a strong personality, suddenly everything you did became a problem. You get micromanaged, your attitude gets questioned, they get weirdly cold with you. You feel like you're constantly fucking walking on eggshells for no reason. Some people get into leadership and instead of mentoring other women, they start competing with them. And that creates such a toxic environment to work in. And the annoying part is you can't even talk about it honestly because people immediately jump to, oh, so you hate women. No, like I said, some of the best bosses I've ever had were women. But pretending jealous female bosses don't exist is just fucking fake. Have you ever worked for a female boss who made you feel smaller instead of stronger? Let me know. Some of the hardest bosses
Guys, isn't that funny though? Once again, they all wanted to be strong and independent, right? But any bad outcome they call a gap of some kind, just so they can make us men the scapegoat. Right, guys? The happiness gap, the wage gap, the heat index gap, the single motherhood gap, the debt gap, the student loan gap. Isn't it funny how that works, guys? Right? Anytime that there's a gap or a journey, they explain it by making us men the scapegoat. What a joke. Guys, they just keep blaming us for everything. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Because, oh, here you go.
We now can ban Vapodo.
I love that.
It is like April 23rd or 24th now, but I had to be to work at 6:45 yesterday, and I came at 1 in the morning because when I had to come to work, my stomach was cramping, like so bad. I'm like, God damn, I feel like I'm gonna die. Okay, fast.
Hey, Matt. I know you're in Canada, but bro, she is speaking English. Just letting you know. I mean, you might not understand.
Oh my God.
I know that this regional dialect is so far from anything you've probably ever heard.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what, Matt? I met a guy from Newfoundland. Oh my God, that accent's horrible.
I know.
That Foodie accent. Oh my God. Matter of fact, here, after this, I'll pull it up. That Newfoundland accent. Oh my gosh. What a joke.
I get to work. I'm home. No bleeding. Blah, blah, blah. I get to work. I was at work every bit of 1 hour. When I say I had so much fucking blood in my fucking drawers. Like, that shit is like...
Sorry, guys. I can't sit through that. I can't. But guys, here you go.
Should listen to. You're gonna love this one. You should love hearing Newfoundland accents give military commands under pressure, and then try to understand them. And then when you can't, then you follow the wrong orders. You get yelled at. I think it's your fault.
The County Mayo. He settled here in 1842 in the County Mayo in Ireland. Jim Can you remember him? No, never saw him. 4 of us. There was 2 brothers besides myself and my stepbrother. The Monday.
Can you imagine that giving you military commands?
What in the world is going on?
Can you imagine that?
The accent is the most mental thing about the whole situation. Like, really.
What I say to the people, like, because even the boys, they said, like this is what Newfoundland sounds like, but it's not at all.
Yeah.
So when you leave St. John's about a half hour down, you're running the Bay Bulls and with the Spade. That's what I call the start of it. People argue it's further up in the city, but it's not. They're all townies. They're not. Yeah, they're not. They're not part of it. But once you get to the Bay Bulls and with the Spade, you're on to the Irish Loop, and that'll go all down around the Avalon Peninsula, right down to the southeasternmost tip of Newfoundland, and right back up around. And from what I could tell, because I never ever delved into it a whole lot, you got a lot of people coming over in the 1600s, 1700s to settle out.
That's right, yeah.
And it stayed. the accent stayed around. Now, it's not so strong in Witless Bay where I'm from. It was when I grew up, and this is, you get me.
Right.
But if you goes another half hour south down to Calvert, and especially talking to the old hands, it's me times, maybe not times 10, but it's more.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you get over to like Cape St. Mary's and go around.
The accent is the
Good Lord.
I understood maybe 50% of that. At best, 50%.
Here you go.
Who or any of your family, George, ever been to Ireland?
No.
Would you ever expect to go there?
Oh my, no. I wish I was able to go there now. Yes. But no.
Who or any of your family?
Jeez, Sister Mary Frances. what is going on? Here you go.
In other news this evening, residents in the town of Bay Roberts spotted a shark yesterday swimming close to shore. We showed you some of those pictures on our newscast last night. The residents called DFO and the RCMP to report it, but when the continued...
Less than 24 hours ago, this dead shark was frolicking in the waters around the harbour in Bay Roberts and putting on quite a show for curious onlookers and picture takers. But today, near the Cosh in Bay Roberts, the shark has its stomach ripped open, one side removed, and who was in what?
Last night, he was right at the beach here so far. 7 o'clock, like I said last night, 7 o'clock, he was on the beach here so far. At 12 o'clock last night, he was right there going to best going.
God. Guys, I'm speechless. Guys, hold on. Now, I know that I shouldn't be talking because I have a speech impediment, but guys, come on, dude. Come on. Colin, did you get any of this? Like, did
Yeah, no, this is a completely foreign language to me.
Quarter one, I come back, quarter one last night, he was up on the beach with the side cut out of him, the gut and everything cut out of him. But, I don't know, he's roughly about 8 to 6 feet long.
What do you think done it?
What done it?
Yeah.
Well, you know what done, I suppose a couple of fellas done it. Put it in the freezer for a steak. Yeah, I was talking to the RCMP this morning. Nobody ever told of it. I talked to the DFO there last night. And all the miners, if anybody throw rocks at it, they'd press charges on it.
That's not good. Yesterday we were talking to the officers, and I told her the shark was sick. You can see it was sick, right? And we should have had a pull at the water. They should have got biologists in to get it out of it. And
I got nothing, guys. Good God. All right, guys, here we go. No, let's watch.
I think men hold you back from ever reaching your full potential. And I think that they cause so many internal health issues that you may not even realize are connected to being with a man. And I think that so many women specifically wonder in life why their life has been so hard and will truly die still not knowing that it was a man who had them suffering their whole
life. As a chick who's 580 pounds and has a tattoo on her hand. Yeah, It's men that are really, really holding her life back and making her life more difficult. Right, guys?
Yeah, she might as well have unemployed right there stamped on her forehead.
And they won't know how fucking beautiful it could have been without them. And that makes me sad. I think men.
Look at that.
That is so trashy.
Men hold you back. That man is holding you back. Listen here. I was just sitting here updating my resume, realizing that all the biggest accomplishments that I've had in my life have been in my single girl era. Sitting here at 30.
Single girl era means letting the freaking tennis instructor and Nugna and all these freaking strange dudes shoot up the club, please.
Updating my resume, looking at it on paper, right? It was just wild to realize and see everything I've actually accomplished. Because after every failed relationship, it makes you feel like a failure, right? Because that's exactly what the patriarchy was designed to do.
There it
was
is.
Designed to make us.
There it is, guys. There it is. There it is, right? The patriarchy, right, guys? And guys, here's the thing.
Oh, I'll give her some patriarchy.
patriarchy is inevitable because, guys, men own the monopoly on force. There is no way that men are not in charge. Period. Because, guys, in times of crisis, in times of hardship, all of a sudden, women sure do love to do women things. If there's a flood, a tornado, a tsunami, all of a sudden, the women want the men out there cleaning stuff up, taking care of business, right? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this chick, she's an older chick, and look at all this plastic surgery she's had done.
Feel like failures as women if we don't have a man in our life. But that's why I'm here to tell you all my biggest accomplishments, my nursing degree, owning multiple Airbnbs, starting my brand Live Well With That, where I help women get out of domestic abuse situations and begin healing. All of these things I've accomplished with no man. And then what do you know, when a man does happen to enter the picture, my life goes to shit. They take everything from you. They want to suck your soul. It is not fair. It is not equal. They don't treat us like human beings. And the more
she doesn't realize is she's the one who's supposed to be sucking the soul. Oh,
Yeah, she could have some of my soul, and then that's my green card.
Guys, here's the thing that they don't get, because this chick, successful chicks, these chicks always date bums. Because guys like me and Colin and Larry and Matt and 8-Bit and all of us, we would never give this chick the time of day. Because why would we? This is a type of woman who thinks that what makes us attractive to women, status, money, confidence, competence, is what makes her attractive to men. So therefore, that's what she leads with. So what type of guys are going to be drawn to her, right? Total bums.
You're a bum.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to live off a woman's money?
You're a bum.
Move into a woman's house?
You're a bum.
What are you doing? You know what I mean? What a joke.
women that realize this and take these men off of pedestals, the better off society will be. Decenter men, focus on yourself and join the.
Do you guys see also when they blame men, they also do this scarcity mentality. They say that their life is jacked up because there's no good men out there. They have to be strong and successful because there are no strong, successful men out there, but then claim that there's strong, successful men who are holding them back in their work life. Now, wait a minute. How is it in their personal life there's no strong and successful men out there, but in their professional life there's all these strong, successful men holding them back and having the glass ceiling and the broken rung, right? Isn't it funny how they talk out of both sides of their neck, guys? Guys, you can't trust these demons as far as you can throw them, dude. You cannot trust them at all.
My ex would choke if he saw me now. And I'm not just saying this in a way, you guys, but seriously, it's been 3 years. The person that I am now would never accept so many of the things in our relationship.
And you're still thinking about your ex 3 years later. You absolute dunce.
You stupid woman. Not even for a second. I can't blame myself. I was so weak and vulnerable at the time that I was dating him. So he had basically full control over the relationship. I was terrified of losing this man. Even speaking up, I didn't want to because he was so unpredictable. He would just break up with me on a whim. When you don't feel safe in a relationship, you're not your best self at all. But I remember I would literally lay in bed in my most vulnerable moments with him, in my little spirals, talk about the life that I wanted to live and this person that I knew was inside me. I would always say, I know she's in there. I just don't.
Blah, 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 blah. And those are not real. Guys.
A little bit of fear is good for women. Believe me, it's good for.
Look at that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. A guy really did hold her back. Guys, look at Colin, bro, she's all yours.
On any D, this is the only one that's gonna get you places, all right? Here it comes.
Oh no! Look at that, guys. Look at that.
Yesterday, somebody messaged me on Instagram. Basically, her and her man are breaking up. She's moving into her own place. And she said when she has her moments, she thinks to herself, Leah did this, I can do it. Yes, this was very hard for me to do. I married the man I'd been with since I was 15, 16 years old. And I literally would tell myself, like, I'm young as fuck. I'm not fucking happy. I haven't been happy. I know I'm not gonna be happy. I'm gonna be fucking 45 years old wishing I left 20 years ago. Like, no, I told y'all, I literally used to be in this living room on my face, crying to God, like, please help me through this. When I was done, I would get back up, literally look at myself and tell myself, bitch, get it together. We got this. You're doing it. It's done. I do not.
This chick's mouth, the weave, the tattoos, and she's blaming a man.
Yeah.
And hey, AJ, she's all yours, buddy. She's all yours.
No. She's all mine. She's all mine. That's my green card.
There are times where a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
I'll take one for the team.
Not regret choosing myself, and I don't think I will ever regret choosing myself. Guess what? These men are going to choose themselves over and over and over again. They don't give a fuck if you're miserable going through it, if they treat you like shit. And let me tell y'all something else. You don't have to have some big crazy reason. Don't let that man convince you that since he's not cheating on you and beating on you, that he's not doing anything wrong. That's not the only thing you can do wrong in a relationship, and that's not the only things worth leaving over. Also, don't let that man try to say he's not abusive because he's not physically abusing you. There are so many other different types of abuse. There's emotional abuse, there's reactive abuse. These men are abusers. They will literally.
Guys, and once again, this is a scarcity argument. These chicks only choose bad guys, right? And that's because they always want to be victims. Guys, you notice, was
AJ,
it?
just a second
Hold
here,
on.
Okay, sorry.
I think it's like 3% or 4% of births in America come from sperm banks. Why? Because single moms, they want to be victims. If all these single moms, if they actually wanted kids, they can just go get inseminated. But that wouldn't give them a constant antagonist in their life that they can make themselves the victim for. You know what I'm saying? They want to get knocked up by freaking Nug, right? They want to go to the bar and let Nug, and then they can always say, my kid's dad taking me, he doesn't get paid child support. He doesn't want to see his kids. He la. Because it gives them some twisted sense of purpose. It gives them like another, like, okay, Matt, Colin, Larry, do you guys, everyone that's in this chat, do you guys know a woman who has like a 15-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 2-year-old?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
But you know that women do this, right?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Money. The money
No.
from the state.
Think about the motherhood, especially single motherhood, is such a powerful identity. They get pity, they get validation, they're empowered victims. That's a very powerful thing. Empowered victim. So once their oldest kids are getting up there in age, that mother identity, that single motherhood identity is going away. It'll be gone soon, right?
And then they turn those teenagers into their son husbands.
Yes, but instead of actually just transitioning out to just being a chick who has older kids, right? They have another bastard kid. So now especially with an even worse guy. And I was 37. I thought I was done having kids, but then he forced me to have his baby, even though he doesn't have a job. And now he's abusive. They did that on purpose. It was calculated. They want to have a boogeyman, a fall guy, a scapegoat, where they can constantly say that their kid's dad is this horrible victim person that they chose to sit down and have unprotected sex with so that he can constantly be in and out of her life, and they can claim victimhood status. Secret, What's up,
We're
dude?
out here building a new nation for black people. It's time for you to start paying some dues, nigga. I ain't giving you shit.
You know, the other thing is too, you know, you're talking that last woman there with all the tats on her shoes is like saying, oh, there's all kinds of abuse. And I said, well, you know what? I bet you if you kicked them down the stairs and they, you know, tumbled and then maybe ended up with a broken nose or a bleeding nose every now and then, I bet you they'll be with you for life because that's what they want.
But that's how it usually works. You just see that one meme where it's like, why is it all the dudes that are always spin kicking broads always got chicks to spin kick? Isn't it crazy how that works? Guys, put a 1 that's in the chat. All the guys that you knew in college or high school that were actually crazy towards chicks, they always had girlfriends. Always. There were guys I went to high school, college with that were crazy, man. They always had chicks. Always. Secret. What's up, dude?
Let's go. And real quick, in regards to that woman who talked about how, you know, she was lying there with her boyfriend in her most vulnerable moments, what she meant by, I always got stuck in the wet spot.
Yeah, guys. There are men out there who are just bums, right? But here's the thing: women always choose those bums, and that's why this whole you gotta have money. You gotta have money, bro. You gotta have money, bro. No, you don't have to have money to get chicks. You don't, or else all these single moms they would be pregnant by scientists and doctors and lawyers and politicians. No, they get pregnant by freaking Nug and Gavin, the starving artist. That's just how it works. But
it's like a reverse incel type thing that I see. You know, like the idea that your sexual failures are the fault of the opposite gender. You know, what they don't understand, like I don't think anybody tells these broads when they're young, is where you insult men as being incels, where a man's sexual failure is the failure to obtain a sexual partner. A woman's sexual failure is the failure to retain the sexual partner. And this is what they come online. They come online. They're like, oh, men are bad. That's why I am a sexual failure. You look at the incels that come on, they're doing the same thing. Women are bad and they're responsible for my sexual failure.
Hey guys, there's a storm coming through my area, so just in case my internet drops, I'm just letting you guys know. Hopefully it doesn't, because it's not as bad as it was the last couple weeks, but just letting you guys know. But yeah, guys, here and now they're saying us women want to get married, but there's not enough good men. Guys, I honestly believe more men want to get married, have kids than women. Honestly. There's still men out there who dreamed of playing catch with their son and carrying their wife across the threshold and all this other stuff. But we see these absolute demons, you know what I'm saying? And realize that the juice is not worth the squeeze.
Realize how many people actually related to this fear, which is the fear of maybe one day not being able to have kids because we couldn't find a partner good enough to start a family with, be a wife, a husband too. And because the partner got to be good. I didn't realize that a lot of people felt that way. It's that's a really big fear of mine. I feel like this fear isn't being talked about often or expressed
because that means that they have to say, look, there's an end to this. There's a cap. There's a fertility cap. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to admit biological reality. Because that'll be some gap now too. Oh, the biological clock gap, and they'll blame us for that too. That's how nature works,
It's always be an independent woman, focus on yourself, focus on your life, your goals. You don't need a man. Get rid of. And it's yes, know your worth. Yes to all those things. You got I know my worth. I know my value. Like, I know I got to focus on my stuff, my career, whatever. But it's like, sure, you know what I mean? Like, sure, I still deep down want kids. I really want to be a mother. I want to be a wife. Like, I want.
At least she's honest. But guys, once again, this chick. Okay, here, Larry, Seager, Colin, Matt. Let's cook.
I want to cook right now.
Yeah, let's cook here, please. Do you guys agree that women want they want the wedding and not the marriage? They want the pregnancy and not the raising of the children?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want the validation. Oh my God, you're pregnant. Oh my God, here's a seat on the bus. Oh my God, let's help her out. And the baby shower. They want the being doted on as the bride and all this other crap, but they don't want to do the hard work. Being a good mother is hard. Being a good wife is hard. Just like being a good husband and a good father is hard, but we know that from the jump. Here's the thing, guys, we don't even get a lot of validation for being good husbands and good fathers. We used to, but now, guys, there's nothing that men get out of being good fathers other than our friends and family, obviously, and then personal satisfaction. But women get Mother's Day and baby showers, all this foolishness. So we go get in a fatherhood and marriage knowing that it's a thankless job. These women get all the thanks and they still mess it up. Guys, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, exactly. But when you listen to this woman, she says something that was very telling. She says she wants to be a mother. She wants to have children. Before that, she said, I know I need to focus on my career. No. And then, but the last thing was, and I know I want a husband. No, you need to focus on, if you know you want to be a mother and a wife and you want to have a husband, you need to focus on the husband. Because what did Kevin Sam used to also ask women all the time? How much of the household finances you want to be responsible for? And literally 80-90% of the time, the chicks didn't want to be responsible for no more than 20%, if any. No, she want to focus. They spend all this time focusing on trying to get a job, career, anything like that, instead of focusing on finding a quality man that you can commit to, submit to, and get on his program, who you are aligned with and can be equally yoked to.
Yep.
Women can still have the job that they want if they really want to. All they have to do is just wait to get their family going, wait till the kids grow up a little bit so they can be kicked out of the house, and then they can go about doing their own thing, and then their biology is not going nuts.
Yeah, it's like the saying goes, you can have everything you want, just not all at once, not at one time.
Yeah. And that's what Rachel Wilson did, guys.
Exactly.
It was one about Andrew Wilson. I like the guy. Rachel Wilson too. Rachel Wilson had 5 kids. 5. Well, I think that they lost one, but 5 kids total. She's a New York Times best-selling author and worldwide known for debates and stuff. She's a successful online personality, does political debates, does social commentary, and wrote a best-selling book. She has done more than all these modern chicks who hate her will ever do in their lives. And she managed to be a wife and raise 5 kids.
Yeah, AJ, we said this many times, dude. The Asian women, they do this on the regular basis. Even the Asian Indian women, they what are the stats? The Asian women are the highest earning, but they're also the least divorced. They also raise the most kids. I mean,
And I want to say something about Andrew Wilson. Now, I've watched a lot of his debates, and although he may not come off, warm and fuzzy or anything like that, I know he is committed and he loves his wife, because I remember I watched this one debate. I thought he was going to get Will Smith on Will Smith on one of these guys. You keep my wife's name out your mouth. Yeah. So and you can see the sense of the commitment there.
Rachel Wilson, at her best.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I need you guys to watch this debate right here.
She doesn't want
Rachel Wilson. If you guys know who this Brian Shapiro guy is, he takes L after L after L after L after L. He is probably the worst, like, online internet far left personality. He moves the goalposts. He crashes out like a chick. He's the worst. He just goes on all these platforms and just gets completely wrecked every single time. And then people call into his stupid show, and he gets wrecked on his own show. I don't know if he's like a sociopath. He just doesn't get like social, or maybe he has the tism, but he just gets completely destroyed. Rachel Wilson destroys this guy. Here, I'll drop this in the chat. This Brian Shapiro guy, he regularly argues with like every show he's on where there's a black co-host who happens to be conservative. He argues with that black person about racism. Like, bro, if there's a black guy on the panel saying, I've experienced more racism from the left, you're going to sit there and argue with him about his experience? And guys, he has total TDS. You can be owning him, get an argument about the economy, about anything else. He always goes to Orange Man bad. Orange Man bad. I was like, well, I'm not talking about Orange Man. Yeah, but you say Orange Man. It's like, I'm not Orange Man. I don't agree with him. Yeah, but I was like, no, let's stick the argument. And then the other one was Rachel Wilson. What was that dunderheaded blonde name? This chick. This Drina Sixto, who says that she's conservative, but she's not. Yeah, you guys remember this chick? She has to be the most insufferable woman that I've ever seen on the internet. You guys remember we covered part of this debate? Guys, she is the because she was on Fresh and Fit and on whatever. And this is one of the few women where the sisterhood united against her. On Fresh and Fit, all the women were like, dude, shut up. All you do is talk. We want to talk now. She's like, yeah. This shit claims to be pro-Orange Man, conservative, blah, 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 but she's a feminist. And Rachel Wilson completely destroys her. Completely destroys her. Hold on, guys. Here it is. Here you go.
Do you want to respond to that?
You love logic. You should know the three laws of logic, right?
I've already answered that question multiple times. I'm trying to get off this podcast.
Well, I mean, be a good sport. The people sent in some super chats.
There's no such thing as a law of logic. How's that?
Are you serious?
The law of logic. That's a good one.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. She claims to be this college educated, I'm logical and I go by logic, and she doesn't even know what the laws of logic are.
Oh my god! You got a real university education, not one about underwater basket weaving.
Underwater lesbian studies, yeah.
So you don't know that there's.
Wait, do you want to do a bet? $1,000 bet?
A law of logic.
You just sat here on this podcast and the last podcast talking about how you're logical and you have the logic positions and you love logic, and then you said there's no such thing as the laws of logic.
There's a single definition of the law of logic. Is that what you're arguing?
No, there's 3 laws of logic.
Okay.
That govern
so
how logic
a single
works.
Law of logic.
He said.
Oh wow.
That's the thing about podcasting. Anyone can talk into a microphone, but then, guys, anyone can talk into a microphone.
Which laws of logic? Which law of logic does not allow women? Would it be the? I'm not even gonna. Law of identity.
She's trying to look it up on her phone.
Law of logic. He's asking which.
The law of non-contradiction. These are laws that govern what is logical. Otherwise, how would you know what's logical?
What's logical is that men and women hold equal inherent value, therefore they should have equal legal representative
She's a politician.
value and equal.
She's a politician. She doesn't give a straight. She won't give you a straight answer. You can ask.
That
a
is a
question.
straight answer.
That wasn't a
it's
straight
not
answer.
the answer that you want to hear.
You have 2 master's degrees?
2 bachelor's degrees.
2 bachelor's.
Of course. Of course.
Well.
Guys, Rachel Wilson didn't go to college, right? She spent her youth raising kids and being married. She and Andrew Wilson, they've been married for 18 years. Have a great family. They're making tons of money, right? She didn't even go to college, and she's 10 times smarter than this dunderhead, right? And this chick on the right claims to be conservative, one of the upcoming rising stars of the conservative movement. This tradcon, quasi-Christian, quasi-conservative foolishness, guys. You know? And guys, this is why, once again, Matt, Colin, Larry, Secret, unmute. This is why tradcons hate us. They hate Matt. They hate Colin. They hate Larry. They hate Steve, Keyshawn, because they want. We have the male empowerment space on lock. You know what I'm saying? Once guys get into our space, they're like, holy moly, there's something rotten in Denmark. Guys listen to guys like me, Matt, Colin, Larry, because we speak their language, we speak practically, and we speak facts. And they are so jealous, guys, because no one's buying what they're selling. Matt, you were saying?
Yeah, I just want to let you know for the record, I've got 2 associate degrees and an actual engineering degree, and even I don't consider myself smart. Okay, I just consider myself exist. All the shit that university gives you is not going to make you smart. It just plugs you into the system better. That's about it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, guys, is that I started college right when college was going down the toilet, and that's when they pushed. Secret is Gen X. I'm Gen X. Our generation was when they pushed us to go to college. You must go to college, or you are a failure. So colleges became fast food and not fine dining. You know what I'm saying? They started expanding all these soft sciences and useless degrees because of the large influx of college students. You know what I'm saying? If you had Matt University of Saskatchewan, that's historically had an engineering program, nursing, a medical school, a law school, and an economic school. All of a sudden, the student enrollment goes up by 300%. Matt School is going to make a liberal arts program, a communications program, an English program, because they're easy and people can get through them really easy and say they have a degree. It's all about money. That's all it is, you know? So
time ago.
All right, we have Jim Bob. We tried Christopher Scott. Blondie is not conservative. She still has not been able to give the actual definition.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, let's go back here. Guys, okay, so before we switch gears, guys, they blame men for everything, right? Because they don't want to talk about the consequences. But guys, the ultimate cost of all of this blaming men, because guys, all it does is make them feel better at night. It takes away the accountability, because ultimately, guys, they're going to end up old, childless, and alone. Okay,
not alone. They'll have me. That way, I can get my
yeah, but that's only for that 2 to 3 years before you can get your permanent residency to your citizenship, and then.
Who is this guy? I don't know.
You guys know Maxwell is sticking around for that map. What is it, 3 years and a day, and then he's out of it. He's out of there.
Look,
out of there.
we were on snowboards stream last night, and I gave the blueprint. I gave Matt the blueprint to get his citizenship fast track.
I just have to wait till they crack my skull wide open and then be like, please let me in. I'm unsafe.
You know what, Matt? Seriously, Matt, there are cities like LA. If you could actually get down into LA or Boston or New York, oh man, you would live like a king. Really? If you were to actually just come to New York and overstay your visa, you'd have a free hotel and room and board. That's how Mom Dami does. Oh yeah, yep.
Nice.
Crazy, right? But guys, here, check this out.
We need to talk about this article in The Cut. This is about a 45-year-old who went through several rounds of failed IVF, spent over $250K, and never ended up with a baby.
Oops.
As a fertility doctor, I have so many thoughts, but I want to start at the top with this is why we need to work really hard as a society to close the fertility knowledge gap. So
there you go, the fertility knowledge gap. Cooked. Anytime that they say that there's a gap, it means that they're blaming us men. The fertility knowledge
I think this is the knowledge gap between young broads and older broads, right?
Yes, but they're still gonna say it's the patriarchy that's pushing women towards blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And guys, here's the thing. There's a small group of men, powerful men, who are making all kinds of money off of this. And these women, they're so stupid that they blame the rest of us men and not the men who should actually be blamed. You know what I'm saying? Guys, these fertility doctors, if you can invest in these pharmaceuticals that are making these fertility drugs. You know what I'm saying? You'll be making hand over fist.
So many people, the vast majority of people that I talk to, don't have a true understanding of how challenging it is to try to conceive at 45. And that is just...
You even need to have this conversation at 45 years old? Are you serious? Come on, man. I'll be back, guys.
Juxtaposed against this overinflated belief in what science, what IVF and technology can overcome. While it's true that IVF has gotten much more successful over the years, it still depends on your biology. You still need ovaries that can respond to stimulation and produce mature eggs at retrieval. And while ovarian reserve often declines markedly by the time we get to our mid-40s, I've absolutely had 45-year-old patients who have better than average or better than expected ovarian reserve. But the problem is that's not the whole story, right? You might get to egg retrieval, but the attrition from egg to embryo becomes dramatically steeper by age 45. Roughly 90% of the embryos that do make it to the stage where they can be tested will be chromosomally genetically abnormal. One of the biggest misconceptions that I see, and one of the harms that might come out of articles like this, is this idea of lumping everyone who's 40 together. But being in your early 40s and being in your mid 40s or late 40s are not the same. Every year matters. And as we enter our 40s, the biology starts to change more quickly. Have I had patients that have conceived successfully with IVF using their own eggs at age 45? Yes. But it typically will take multiple cycles to get there, and it doesn't always work. I would say the truth is IVF success at 45 is the exception, not the rule, whereas that is not true in your early 40s. A lot of people can be successful at that age.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
It may take multiple attempts, but they can get there. It's
multiple attempts means tens of thousands of dollars, guys. I'm talking 80, 90, $100,000.
And that, let's not forget these broads. These broads are so short-sighted that they can't even think more than 5 minutes ahead of themselves. So 45 years old, and let's say it's successful, and you're statistically most likely to have a baby that turns out baseball. Right? Do you want to be 60, 65 years old dealing with a disabled, teenage, like how, like,
I don't get it, guys. They make problems and then want us men to bail them out, and that usually involves, creating things like IVF in the first place, or their husbands paying for this crap. Guys, okay, put a 1 If you agree, guys, hit the like button, guys. Hit the super chat button, guys. A couple of those would be good. Guys, if a woman can't bear your children, guys, leave.
Yeah.
You are well within your rights to leave her if she cannot give you children and you want to be a father. Guys, my good friend, he did that. I told you guys. He's a PhD, right? He's an engineer, makes $250,000 a year, and his whore wife wouldn't give him kids. So he said, you know what? Screw this. They were together for like 13 years, left. She didn't think he'd leave. He left. Guys, this is the one thing you cannot compromise on. You cannot. And to her, she wanted to maintain the status quo, and that was her getting her way. No. Guys, there's no reason why. Think of this, guys. Why is it that us men in the West, we're the highest earning men that there are? Men in Canada, men in the UK, men in the United States. We're the highest earning men on earth on average, but we get the least out of our women. You can have a guy in Rio cutting papayas at a friggin' stand on the side of the road, and he has a beautiful wife and 2 kids who love him. You can go to India and have a guy making friggin' bread and beans with his feet. I'm sorry. And he could have a loving wife and kids, but we can't.
Right, and that guy in Rio, his wife, she'll put a plate of enchiladas on the table. When he's
that's
done
Mexican,
working.
you go.
You know, yeah.
He said Brazilian enchiladas. Yeah. But it's true, guys. It's true. You know, guys, if you have a chance, you know, Matt's wife is from Thailand. You know, he talks about like the way his wife is. And guys, this is why if you do want to make the choice to actually date and marry, guys, you have to go outside the U.S. You have to, guys. It's such a culture shock when you actually leave the United States and see how women are. I would even say like Eastern Europe and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just different. It's so crazy. So, but yeah.
Bit more realistic.
AJ, remember when I was telling you guys, what was it, 92, 93, when I was in Japan? And after a few weeks there, I came back to Hawaii, went to the recruiter, and was like, if you make me a Japanese linguist, I will re-enlist right now. Japanese linguist and station me in Japan, I will re-enlist right now. Because I saw how women treated. I was like, oh, yeah, this is life for me.
Yeah. Well, AJ, just yesterday, I didn't chime in, but I rewatched the replay of the. You had Elon on there. He got himself a Japanese wife, and it's like city boy.
Yeah. Paul Elam, he was on there. Yeah. He said that and got and that's what we were telling Cyrus. I'm like, bro, you're 31 and you're killing it. I said, travel. You understand? And import one, but make sure that there's a whole bunch of her community around. A friend of mine, his wife is Indonesian. You know what I'm saying? And they've been married for 14 years, you know? And there's a whole big Indonesian community so she's either at the mosque or at her cultural center or at work or at home. She doesn't really hang out with Western women. All of her Western women friends are all like 65 years old or 70 years old because they have the same type of old school mentality, you know? So
this is where it gets complicated. And these are some of the hardest conversations that I have, because I don't think the answer is to tell everyone based on their age written on a piece of paper, you're 45, you have to go straight to donor egg, because some women at 45 can make normal eggs. It's just,
of course, you got to say that because you got to make money. You dunce.
Not that common. I completely understand wanting to try with your own eggs first, especially if your ovarian reserve suggests that it's reasonable to try to stimulate the ovaries for IVF. We don't want to blindly have cutoffs and take that.
Look at this, 41 to 44, 7 rounds, no babies. Look at that.
Choice away. But if your clinic has never achieved a pregnancy at 47 from someone's own eggs, should they really be offering IVF freely and openly to all patients at that age? When we practice medicine or administer treatments with a negligible, almost 0% chance of success, even a very low risk treatment becomes difficult to justify, right? The risks are going to inevitably outweigh the little benefit. No one should be just cycling indefinitely. There should be meaningful, critical conversations at every step of the way. Did we get eggs? Did they turn into embryos? Were they genetically normal? Where are we hitting a wall? And is there scientific reasoning and rationale to keep going? Is there any reason to believe that the next cycle could produce meaningfully different results? And if the answer is honestly no, then we have to have a serious conversation. And this is not about giving up or throwing in the towel or not believing that you can do it. This is about the fact that your time, your money, your emotional stamina, and physical ability to withstand these cycles are a real thing.
You're not supposed to withstand having kids. These women's bodies are naturally meant to do this. And they wait until the cars run into a ditch to try and make it work.
I need to hear from the IVF girlies who have been through multiple implantation failures with their transfers. I am actively going through my third failed embryo transfer.
Third! So she's probably about 60 grand in, guys. What a joke, guys. I gotta do a whole live stream on this.
My husband and I are deciding if we want to destroy our embryos this week. Don't mind me. I'm red-faced, sweaty, picked a pimple. So gross because I just did a workout class. But that's one of the reasons I'm coming on. My husband and I are deciding if we want to destroy our embryos this week. We've had them on ice, so to speak, for a year and a half now. My last miscarriage was
4 years and 4 miscarriages, guys. 4 years and 4 miscarriages.
Whoa! This brings up another really good point. When they put the embryos, their eggs on freeze, and they wait, do they pay like a month, a monthly lease?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like a deposit box.
Yeah. Yep. Guys, here's the thing. Destroy their embryos. Guys, once again, those are technically their children. They're fertilized eggs of her and her husband.
Right.
Where if she wasn't a broken down jalopy of a uterus, they should be able to have kids. She's an 81 Chevette. She's a Mustang too. So they're gonna destroy those embryos, meaning delete those children because she can't have them.
Yeah,
and her husband.
All this time they've been paying a monthly. Wow. Yeah. Jesus. This is.
Yeah.
I may actually have the engineering expertise to repair those eggs. The crazy thing is, it's an electrical phenomenon.
What? No, dude, you're missing what she's saying. She's having the eggs are not the problem.
Oh,
she's the problem. She cannot carry the children.
Oh,
they have embryos just sitting there, but she keeps having miscarriages. That's the problem. Guys, her husband's an idiot for even letting this get this far. Guys, if you are married and you want kids and your wife is damaged goods, guys, get out of there.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Dude, where's Snowboard at? We got to get to Tylenol.
Yeah. And she's probably in her late 30s. Well, guys, she just looks old and broke down. But yeah, guys, why? People go, oh, these Hispanic chicks have all these kids. Well, guys, they have kids in their 20s. And guys, this is not an issue anywhere else on Earth other than the West.
Yeah.
And then China, Korea, Japan. Because Southeast Asia, Africa, South America, right? These chicks have kids in their 20s and bounce back. How do you think that our grandmothers and stuff had 12 kids, 15 kids? They started early. And guys, it's not having kids, it's having your first kid. If you have your first kid young, then you're more likely to have kids older. That's just the way it works, you know? So this chick is cooked. And guys, her husband, he's an idiot for staying with her. There's no reason why he should still be with this chick. None. At all. She runs this marriage. Put a 1 if you guys agree. She wears the pants. She does.
March of 2025. And although my husband and I are completely at peace with our decision, well, not completely.
You think so, huh? Right?
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Do you guys honestly believe that? Hit the like button, guys. I appreciate that. Do you guys honestly believe this?
And
Right?
you know, I also have to point out, just me being the car guy, I also have to point out that her husband is such a loser that look at the background of the car. He was dumb enough to buy her one of these dumbass, $90,000 Jeeps.
It's a Grand Wagoneer, right?
Whatever they call them now, dude. All these new Jeeps, they're just
horrible,
dude. $80,000-$90,000 pieces of shit. I mean,
yeah. My sister has the hybrid one. She has the 70. She pays $75,000 for that stupid thing.
Yeah, dude. Did you guys hear about the recall that they just had to recently issue? Where there's now, I think it's like almost 750,000 of these Jeep Wranglers and Gladiators, basically the pickup truck version, where apparently there's some kind of a problem where the power steering pump is not driven by the engine, but it's driven by an electric motor. And somewhere there's a control module and there's some faulty wiring. And these things are just catching fire and just burning down to the ground. Dude, all these new Jeeps, it's just insane how big a piece of shit these things are. But anyway, back to topic. Sorry.
People buy them though. That's the craziest part, guys. This is the first time in history for the Chevy 350, the 6.2 and the 5.7. The Chevy V8s are unreliable.
Yeah.
Guys, 500 miles and they're crapping out. Buying an $80,000 and $90,000 Silverado, drive off the lot, and 4 weeks later you're on the side of the road with catastrophic engine failure.
Oh, dude, it's getting even worse, dude. GM's now also having tons of problems with the 10 and the 9-speed transmissions. Dude, anybody who even thinks about, dude, it's getting so bad where I don't know if you guys have seen the commercials. If you want to buy a Chevy truck, GM will give you 5 years of free financing and no payments for 3 months. That's how desperate they're getting to get these idiots to buy these goddamn things.
Yeah,
and
they're terrible.
Yeah.
Guys, hold on. Let's switch gears here, all right? Because anything else on this topic, I mean, they always blame us, guys. We'll always get blamed, and they expect us to clean up the mess. Anything else on the topic, guys? All right, here we go, guys. Let's do this. Let's do this quick. Hold on. That's the song.
Pay's not working. Get on the ground!
The scene of a car crash suddenly turns into a life or death struggle with an erratic and aggressive suspect.
So, guys, Colin, what do I would say about the ponytail patrol? Guys?
Utterly useless.
Thank you. One-legged man is in an ass-kicking contest. Seriously. Guys, you are better off with a friggin' a mongoose as a partner than a freaking woman. You know what I'm saying?
Who refuse?
Dark Rise says, if you have fun time with a chick, why get into relationship or marry? Why mess up a good thing that you both have? Tom Likas was right. Yeah, guys. All of Tom Likas' shows are on YouTube. Just letting you guys know. Hey, thanks for the $5, man. I appreciate that.
Seriously. Garlic croutons, dude.
Refuses to comply. And with the deputy's service weapon within reach, it's a fight that could end in tragedy.
He's trying to get my gun!
The following report is based on official police records released to date, and most of the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. On the afternoon of October 15th, 2025, a 911 call comes in about a head-on collision in the middle of the highway in Thurston County, Washington.
911, what are you reporting? Hey, guys, look, this is where... Call him, look, this is where I'm from. This is headed out to...
Really?
Yeah, look at that. Lacey's this way, Nisqually's this way. Yeah, this is where the landfill is and the mushroom farm. Look at that, guys. Yeah, check this out.
An accident
This is my stomping grounds.
on, where am I? Old Pacific. It's at the T. It just happened. I witnessed it from my direction. I don't know if the person lost conscious, some type of medical emergency.
Someone unconscious.
I don't know until I get closer. I'm not.
Are you able to safely check?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Let me put hazards on.
The caller approaches the vehicle that seemingly caused the crash, but she quickly realizes that something is off with the driver, perhaps dangerously so.
Yes, he's conscious.
Okay. Are there any obvious injuries?
He's got a lash to his forehead. Hey, do you want to have a seat until EMS gets here?
Is that a laceration on his forehead you scared?
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I thought that was a condom rapper. I was like, oh, it's like that, huh? Hey, guys, this is freaking Washington State. So, meth and opioids, man.
Does not look stable either. Yeah, I'm walking away from him.
The caller isn't the first one to notice. Moments earlier, another witness had attempted to check on the driver.
Opened up the front door and asked if the person inside was okay. All I could see was his shoes, and the airbag was covering the rest. He said, I'm carrying, or I have a gun, don't touch me or I'll shoot you.
The collision sent both vehicles spinning off the highway, and traffic is backing up. It's this scene that a local school resource officer encounters on her way home from work, unaware that she's only moments away from a vicious fight for her life.
The key to the fight on the injuries. Copy, I'm just getting on. 3.
Look at that, guys.
The SRO, a deputy with the Thurston County Sheriff's Office, goes first to the woman in the white vehicle, who is already being tended to by other motorists. She then doubles back to check on the driver of the gray Chevy.
Oh, guys, don't you just feel so safe that a dunderheaded ponytail patrol shows up? Oh, yeah, never fear, guys. Everything will be just fine, you know? Yay!
Where she begins to realize that something isn't quite right.
Right now, bald-headed sheriff is approaching him right now, but he won't take his hand out of his pants.
Does he appear to be breathing normally?
Nope. And staggering. He doesn't seem to be violent, but...
The deputy approaches the man, later identified as 47-year-old Brian Fleming, who is standing in front of his smashed SUV, blood dripping from his head, his hand tucked into his waistband. He ignores her instructions to sit.
Dun, dun, dun.
Guys, she was on her way to take the One Ring to friggin' Mountain Dew.
Down.
I got one that's not compliant. I'm not sure what's going on with him. He's trying to get back into his car. I'm not sure if he's trying to retrieve the...
Suddenly, the man begins running towards her, his right hand still partially concealed.
We're using the shell hand.
As the deputy draws her taser, her body cam is automatically activated.
Be advised, he just charged at me, then just ran back into the car. He can't go anywhere. It's missing a wheel. Where's my closest unit?
Backup is speeding to the scene, but as the situation deteriorates, the question is whether they can get there in time.
Why don't you have a seat, sir? Hey, everything's okay. Just have a seat. Have a seat for me. He's in and out of the car, looking around, not making any aggressive movements right now, but not complying with my verbal commands. Hey, why don't you have a seat?
But as her colleagues dodge traffic and race around corners, this tense scene is about to spiral into violent chaos.
Of course it is, guys. So because of the ponytail patrol.
Have a seat for me, sir. Hey, have a seat. If you approach me, you're going to get tased. Have a seat. You're not going near those people either. Have a seat or you're going to get tased. He's attempting to approach the other car. I'm giving him verbal commands to stop approaching me. He's still approaching. He's going to get tased.
Tase him. And she missed with every single
Get on
one.
the ground. Get on the ground. Tase not working. Get on the ground.
There we go.
Look at that.
It's time!
Cooked.
He's trying to get my gun. He's trying to get my gun.
Completely useless. Completely useless, guys. Do you see this? This is everything wrong with society right here, guys.
Yeah.
Everything wrong with society, all wrapped into one scene.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
And if I was that guy, I would have charged her a lot sooner to get it. I wouldn't have waited that long to snap out of it.
Look at that. Look at that, guys. Wow. Hold on, guys. Sorry.
Hey! Drop it up and kill you. Drop it up and kill you. I'm already dead anyway, man.
Now, do you see? A regular citizen has a gun and is like, drop that or I'll delete you.
Additional law enforcement, including
Pistol whipping his ass.
an off-duty corrections officer,
He got it. Oops.
jump in to try and restrain the suspect. And it turns out he's not as impervious to electricity as it seemed.
Okay. Put your hands on your back right now. Put your hands on your back.
Useless. Look at this chick right here. Useless.
I'm gonna tase you. Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back, motherfucker. Go check yourself out. Go
Useless.
With suspect Brian Fleming finally in handcuffs, it will now be up to investigators to find out exactly how this incident, which started as a car crash, turned into a violent struggle for survival. And those bizarre answers will come soon enough.
They had a female cop show up. That's mistake number one.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
This guy's blood on it. And it's already on you. Radio on Polly, 6 days of deployed on the subject, and he's detained now.
Look at this. Useless.
Yes, man. Hey, man.
Everyone at the scene is intensely aware of how much worse this could have been. The suspect stands 6'2", 210 pounds, giving him 7 inches on the deputy and outweighing her by 70 pounds.
Look at that, guys. Look at that. Useless. Useless. What a joke. And the moment that he charged her, when he got about 5 feet, she should have lit him up, pulled out the Glock, and started spraying. She could say, look, he has 70 pounds on me. He's acting erratic. But guys, once again, this is post-2020 policing. This is woke Washington State where they bowed down to BLM and a cop has to basically get their head smashed in to even try and pull their weapon.
Yeah.
If her backup would have got there, 10, 15 seconds later,
She'd be
it would have
cooked.
been a different story.
Yep.
Literally just 5 to 10 seconds later, it would have been a different story.
Yep, that's true.
Oh,
you baby little papa. You guys see? This was a male. Guys, look, this is how you know if that men and women aren't equal. Watch. Give me a hug, Sarge.
Yeah, someone give me a gun.
As the corrections officer later notes, Brian indeed came very close to doing just that.
He wasn't complying. He was still trying to get her handgun. So I started.
Look at this guy right here. He's like, I'm not getting involved. I need to see him. I need to see him. Look at this, guys. Look at this right here. Look at this guy.
This is not my fight.
I know. Look, man. Officer, I don't want to talk about it, okay? I don't want to talk about it.
The guy in the blue shirt should have left it alone and let it happen.
No. He's a law enforcement officer.
He is? I thought he was a civilian. I'm sorry.
No, he's a corrections officer who's off duty. So he's a sheriff's deputy. So
Impacting the back of his head with the muzzle of my gun, telling him to stop or I was going to have to shoot him. I was fighting for an angle and watching her holster because he was trying to break the retention on her holster. And if the retention broke, I was going to have to shoot. So I was looking for an angle where I could do that safely.
It will later.
Look, see? Now he's a civilian. Look at this. All to save this female cop's ass.
Come to light that Brian had hidden advantages. In addition to his size, he holds a brown belt in jiu-jitsu.
Look at that.
How you doing? Good?
Yeah,
How you feel?
Useless?
like a little bit.
Yeah, because that's what's... You guys are... All right. I'm going to calm down here, guys. All right? Because you could have got yourself and all these people killed. Okay?
Yeah.
This is reality. Do you see why she's bent over? Because the weight of reality is crushing her shoulders right now. There's no way out of this, guys. She's realizing how ineffective she is. Even with all this gear, all this training, all these Mickey Mouse tattoos, any grown man can just destroy her with his bare hands. Completely ineffective. She had to have 3 grown men save her from one guy. She was completely cooked. Completely cooked. There's no reason why these 304 should be anywhere near the police force. This is the best example.
Yep. You did fantastic for somebody of that size.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
See? And that's the problem, guys. Well, you did pretty good, even though he almost got your gun and, almost killed you. DEI hire right here.
Absolutely fantastic. And he's super intoxicated. I can just smell it pouring off of him.
I bet you.
Oh, now she has a excuse. Oh, he was intoxicated. That's why he overpowered me. Even if that was the case, then he should be easier to take down if he's drunk,
4 or 5 of my palms came down.
Oh, yeah, because I could feel it. I'm sitting there like, take him down and everything. I'm like, oh.
And this guy's old. This old guy took him down.
Yeah.
When another officer finds the deputy's taser, he notes in his report that it was completely empty, meaning all 10 probes had been deployed. When investigators later speak to Brian himself, they get some surprising answers about what happened on the highway today.
Was any force used on you by an officer?
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain what kind of force was used against you? What happened?
It's a blank. I don't know.
Brian tells investigators that he was diagnosed bipolar at the age of 18, but hasn't been taking the proper medications. Instead, he takes Adderall.
Do you think that there's anything you could have done differently in the situation?
No.
You said, yeah? What's that?
I don't know.
Not attack the officer?
I mean, yes, there's something better.
Go at him harder and faster
I
next
thought I was
time.
being chased. So.
Investigators reach out to his wife, who says he's been struggling in recent days with paranoia, turning off the lights in their home and making her and the children hide from people he
Of
believed
course, he has a wife and kids. Of course.
were out to get him. She says he left the house that morning to get eggs and never returned.
Do you know if the
I thought he left the house to get a pack of smokes. Oh!
officer gave you any verbal warnings? Did you hear them yelling at you?
No.
You said yes. Do you remember what they said?
Don't. Okay. There's a lot that I don't recall.
Okay.
I had just started a new medication too.
He doesn't specify the medication, but he does admit to drinking 7 bottles of NyQuil that day in an effort to fall asleep. But while that could possibly shed light on the accident, it doesn't quite explain what motivated the incident with law enforcement.
He's trying to get my gun. Get out, motherfucker.
Brian tells police that his sole reason in reaching for the deputy's weapon was so he could use it on himself. Whether or not that's the whole truth, the deputy is surely fortunate not to find out.
Let me take a look.
I still want to get my gun.
Nope, you did
Useless.
awesome. You're fine.
See? You did awesome. You did fine. Yeah, little guy. You won the gold medal at the Special Olympics, little guy. You should be proud of yourself.
I'm fine.
The police report notes that the deputy didn't sustain any significant injuries, nor did the driver of the oncoming vehicle. Brian himself required staples in his skin, but was also remarkably unharmed. He was charged with third-degree assault, attempted disarming of a law enforcement officer, driving under the influence, reckless driving, obstructing a law enforcement officer, and resisting arrest. He is free on $10,000 bond. While
What the hell?
Hey, Colin, when are you going to move, buddy?
Motherfucker, don't even get me started right now, dude. I got another thing here that's just chapping my ass. Oh, God.
Washington State, bro. Look at that.
While his case moves.
Guys, here you go. Colin. Here you go. Oh, no. Where is it? Hold on. Damn it. Where is it? One second, guys. Colin, here's a story that I'm going to show you. I was going to do a video on this.
Yeah.
But I think that the story can pop up here. Damn it. Where is it?
Hey, AJ,
Here it
while
is.
you
Here it is. I got it.
Okay, good.
What were you saying?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, hey Matt, you got a BMW. What model BMW? I'm the car guy. I'm sorry. When AJ cuts off the stream, let's stay on the line, and whatever BMW you got, I want to talk about it.
I have no BMW.
Okay, so then who had the BMW chime? Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. Forget it.
To be honest, my truck. You want to know what my truck is? My truck is a 1986 M998 Humvee that was once owned by the U.S. National Guard in Georgia, and that's registered in Manitoba as an actual everyday vehicle to drive. And it's actually one of the best vehicles I've ever driven, and I do not want to ever get rid of it. Slow, but it's easy to fix.
So then,
I drove home with it all the way from Ontario on fire once because the engine caught fire and couldn't stop, so I kept going.
That's hilarious.
So
maybe
then
it was Larry.
So then, who had the who
it was
had
probably
the,
Larry. He was on earlier.
No, he was still muted when that chime happened. That's why I asked for Matt and Seagrab. Okay, never mind. My bad. I'm sorry. Please continue.
There you go.
Now at 6, in an Operation Crime and Justice report, the husband of a pregnant restaurant owner killed in a random shooting is now suing the King County Regional Homelessness Authority. Good evening, I'm Preston Phillips.
And I'm Molly Shen. Ina Kwan was killed back in 2023 while sitting in traffic in Belltown. This lawsuit claims that
And the hubby, he's
well.
Yeah. And the hubby, the guy who survived, he's now suing the homeless authority.
Yeah, and the homeless authority is the mayor's brainchild, like her baby. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She was doing
and
the
they
whole
just
homeless thing.
and she just had to defund it, and I'm guessing it's because they don't want to pay the settlement or whatever is going to happen. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The KCRHA ignored major red flags about the man who killed her. KOMO's Jeremy Harris has been digging into the lawsuit and joins us live tonight with more. Jeremy.
Yeah, well, some of the details that are coming to light in this lawsuit are just shocking, including that Cordell Gooseby allegedly told a county caseworker just one day earlier that he planned to shoot somebody. The very next day, he's accused of opening fire into a family's car. It was a tragic day on the streets of Seattle. People could hardly believe it. A pregnant mother and her unborn child killed in a random shooting. Video shows Cordell Gooseby approach the car and open fire. Ina Kwan and her husband Sung had just been driving to work when Gooseby ambushed them. Now, 3 years later, Sung Kwan is suing the King County Regional Homelessness Authority, alleging case managers knew Gooseby was growing increasingly violent and volatile before the shooting.
And then eventually that turned into him telling his caseworker at the Homelessness Authority, I'm going to shoot someone and I need help.
When a case manager hears from a client like that, I'm going to shoot somebody, what do you think their response should be?
Notify. If they weren't able to do something about it, they had a duty to notify someone that could.
Attorney Julie Klein
There is no one like that in Seattle. What are you talking about?
Presents Sung Kwan. The lawsuit says Gooseby was living in this county-funded apartment where management received complaints about Gooseby using drugs and having paranoid delusions and making threats.
They were privy more than anyone else to what was going on with his mental health and didn't take any steps to intervene or to help him. And what happened was, unfortunately, a really predictable result of that.
The suit alleges the Homelessness Authority actively told staff not to call police on Gooseby and didn't get him screened by a crisis center to be committed.
The ball was dropped, and it was pretty clearly dropped.
What do you think could have happened if KCRHA had stepped in and said, obviously, this person's dangerous, he needs to be committed now?
Yeah, there are a number of things that they could have done, but the two that immediately spring to mind is contacting the crisis response, the King County Crisis Response Center, and beginning an involuntary commitment process.
Gooseby was charged with first-degree murder. After 3 years of court proceedings, he was determined to be not guilty by reason of insanity. He was committed into a mental hospital. If he is ever released, the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office has the option to refile those charges and start the case over again.
I tell you right now, they won't. They'll just let him go after about 2 or 3 years. And I guarantee you right now, they're going to let him go after about 2 or 3 years. And the prosecutors are going to say, well, nothing we can do.
Cooked.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. I had to be up early tomorrow, so I'll let you guys go. But yeah, guys, I'll be live tomorrow at 5 as usual. You know? And yeah, guys. Once again, the Ponytail Patrol guys, they're gonna get everyone deleted. They're such a horrible liability. Like, what's the point? So, but all right, guys, I appreciate you. Bye, guys. Take it easy.
Sorry for my intro.